Wake up. That's going to be in my head the entire stream now. Thank you so much, Alex. I think we're good. I think we're on there.
Are we live?
We got zero.
I had
such
a bad first frame. I was just like
looking at your phone.
No, I just look tired.
What's up, Silhouette?
I'm tired.
Dawson, how you doing?
Hey, Dawson.
What's happening? What's happening? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. So we're gonna let a couple more people trickle in here. We're just gonna kind of keep the convo flowing as we wait for this, and then we'll kind of get into our topics for the evening.
Yes.
What's up?
What's up, Gremlin?
We got Slaughter Count. What's going on? Hello, Nest of the World.
Oh, thank you, Selena. I appreciate it.
And hello, what's up, Gremlin? Yes. Oh, yeah, we can talk about that first. Congrats, buddy.
Yes.
My girlfriend's in here. Hey, Emily.
Hello, Emily.
Well, congratulations, Evan.
Thank you.
Yeah,
ROCKLIN Graves hit 5K, baby. Woo!
I actually just passed 6,600.
Oh, there you go.
A couple minutes ago.
You're done. All right.
He's
get off this shit.
That was last hour's news.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, everyone. There's lots of...
that's awesome, man.
Lots of nice
You earned it, Brenda.
Thank you.
We're definitely going to talk about some Anchor Bay for sure. Congrats. Yes, sir. Take your...
Oh, we can stop talking about it now.
We can stop talking about it now. Yeah, no, seriously, though, that is kind of fucking impressive, dude. Like how it's... And you also had a video cross 100,000.
Dude, it just passed 140. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh,
dude,
that'll do it.
Yeah, Silhouette, this is a cross stream.
Yes, yeah, we're cross.
Yeah, we're all doing it.
Yeah,
live.
the Sinister video. I didn't know there was still that much interest in Sinister.
I didn't either, dude. Like
I thought like when I put that up, I was like 500, 600 views max.
It's a good video, though.
The Thing movies where everybody didn't like it at first, and then it just like kind of grew on people.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I agree with you totally. Like it is one of those movies that's like, I feel like I didn't like it at first when it came out, but I was I was younger. I was definitely like I thought it was. Me too. Okay, maybe it's just me, but
it was like raw, man. Like felt like
it scared
like the
dirtiest shit out of me.
Footage movie, and then mixed with like art house. I was like, yeah.
You got to understand. I came into it as like a pure slasher fan, and so like I wasn't into paranormal. I wasn't into supernatural. I didn't care about that stuff.
Sure.
But then like gearing up for the Black Phone, I'm like, dude, it's been years. Let me revisit this movie. It totally blew my mind. That's why we did the podcast when we did it.
Have you seen Exorcism of Emily Rose yet?
Not yet. No, buddy. I know I want to get to it.
Buddy, go back to that one.
That's one I need to rewatch because I wasn't like blown away when I first saw it either.
I think that's the best Exorcist movie that's not The Exorcist.
Yeah, I would agree.
So good.
Sinister is top tier. I would say as far as like horror movies from the early 2010s, like absolutely one of the best.
It's right up. It gets lumped in with like Conjuring and Insidious all the time.
It doesn't. It's so much better than those.
I mean, I love those movies. I think they're great, but Sinister is so much more impactful.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that Sinister gives me more to chew on, even though I love Conjuring and Conjuring 2.
Yeah, the first two Conjuring movies. The rest of the Conjuring universe, aside from Annabelle Creation, I couldn't give less of a shit about.
Yeah, they're tough. They really are.
Conjuring 3 made me angry.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Did not enjoy that.
Made me do it. Luckily that was the one of the few movies that like I was like, no, dude, I'm not gonna go to the theater and see this. I'm gonna wait for it to hit the simultaneous release, and I did because like I knew when you put the guy who did The Nun stepping in for James Wan. I'm sorry, like
you want to know what I did? You want to know what I fucking did?
Oh, that's right. You guys don't have Max.
I did those stupid goddamn $20 rentals. Oof, because I was like, Conjuring, let's go. So I did those when the ridiculous rental prices that are happening when movies release like a week after they're in theaters now. Absolutely. I did that for the Conjuring 3. So I paid like $20 to watch it once at home. It made me mad.
I'm sorry, buddy. That's a tough one.
I think The Nun. What was his name? What was the guy's name?
Oh,
did he do The Nun 2 as well, or was that a different director?
He's done like all of the Conjuring stuff recently.
The second Nun was better than the first one.
Well, Nun's better than Nun, so
Better than none.
That's fucked up.
I don't like either of them, but the second one was an improvement.
Exorcism of Emily Rose terrified me when I was younger. I refused to watch it again. No, I hear nothing but amazing things about it, and
I remember
plan on checking it out.
The first time that I saw it was really funny because I think it was my dad, like my parents were like, "You got to see this movie," and I think the power must have been out or something, or the TV wasn't working because we watched it on their iPad in their bed. So I was pretty young.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
And it still scared the shit out of me.
I'm doing my due diligence by sharing everybody.
Did you check who made The Nun? Because I'll do it real quick. It's like something Chavez, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I almost said Demian Rugna, but no, that guy's a good
what
guy.
the hell?
I know, I'm correcting myself. I didn't say it.
That is slander, Evan.
Yeah, take his 6,600 away.
you might have hit 660, whatever the hell, but you suck.
You just lost. 7,
actually, it wasn't that guy. It was Corin Hardy. I don't recognize him. He did the first one.
Really?
Yeah. Let me see.
I thought it was like a Spanish.
No. I don't remember. I just remember laughing at the movie when I watched it.
Michael Chives. That's who did the last couple of. He's been in Conjuring World for a minute. He did Curse of La Llorona, Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, and then The Nun 2.
He does not have a good. Financially, he's got a good track record. But
they're gonna make money, and that's all they care about.
100%. Yeah.
But,
it's
not great.
Looked like a demonic leech.
The original demon of Conjuring 2 before they replaced it with the Nun was scary as fuck. Oh my god, I remember that. Did you guys see that?
I'm not aware of this.
Okay, so like 2 years ago, James Wan, right? He puts on his Instagram the original concept. I think they even had like an animatic, or it might have even been a practical effect of what it was supposed to be. Let me see if I can find it, because they replaced it with the Nun, and it actually looks scary as hell.
I like The Conjuring 2 a lot. That's a good movie. Luke
does not like it.
Really?
Does he love the first one?
Yes, he loves the first one. He did not like this. I think that's just kind of how it is with that movie. It's like you're either in it or you're not. And like, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought that but again, I'm a big Patrick Wilson fan.
Me too. I'm a sucker for the guy.
I love his shit. So
he was the only reason that I didn't fall asleep during Insidious Red Door.
His most recent movie, I don't know. I hate him again. No, I'm just kidding.
what was his most recent
Aquaman?
The Devil Made Me Do It, or whatever. The last Conjuring one he did.
Oh no, you're talking about Insidious.
No, Wilson did that movie. He directed it.
No, Insidious.
No, you're Red Door.
Insidious. Red Door. Yeah, sorry.
I liked Insidious, the Red Door. I'm just gonna say it right now. I liked it. I had a good time.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I thought it was like a 6 or something.
It didn't have anything that makes the Insidious movies good. The Further was empty. Like, it felt boring.
I thought that
didn't have that character.
I thought it was pretty fun. I enjoyed that movie a lot.
Right.
I thought that I liked how they kind of wrapped everything up. I don't know. Maybe it just hit us on the right day. I have not rewatched it since.
I do love the first and the third Insidious particularly. Love those two movies. The second one is good, but like some of this shit at the end, it has one of the most memorable, terrible lines I've ever heard in a movie. Where at the end, like when Patrick Wilson's like hulking out, going crazy, he goes, like someone cuts his hand, he goes, "Pain, I miss it, but not as much as I miss inflicting it upon others." And I was like, what the fuck was that? Where's that coming from?
I would put Hard Candy in horror.
Oh, I think Hard Candy
that genre more.
This is the original demon from what was supposed to be in place of Valak. So
can we get that, like a new Alien movie with that?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like something out of what are those movies? Is it Species? The one where the alien lady's having sex with everybody and then murdering them?
That kind of looks like the demon from Annabelle.
What's up, Cynthia?
Yeah, it's like here's some concept art for it, like where it was supposed to go with it.
Dude, that would be cool.
They were going hardcore with it.
Wouldn't it be cool if that thing was hunting you down, like in the mountains or some shit?
We have a very maybe not in the indie, not so much in the indie space, but we've got a shortage of creature features right now.
Right.
And I was
That's
thinking
what I'm
about this
saying.
when I was working on the Exorcist Believer video, because I was looking at the behind the scenes where Chris Nelson and his team made the demon for that movie, which looked fucking awesome, like really cool. And they used it for like one close up at the end of the movie, and most people didn't even notice it was there. Like, it is such a dope looking design, and they threw it out the fucking window. Not that it would have saved that movie, but it would have given something to it.
That was the not the rule, but the what they call it, the anomaly, I guess, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Splice is
Like,
also
if they did
one.
that with the Predator, it
You're
would have been like
correct,
terrible.
Splice is also
Wait, what?
another one where
I
people
literally
are
just
banging
got-
the alien.
I just got a comment of someone talking about how they cut that demon from Exorcist Believer
Are you dead?
2 minutes ago.
Oh, nice. See, that I like that. When you brought that up in your video, I totally agreed that was definitely a missed opportunity for the entire thing.
Any of y'all
Yeah, that
fans of
does
the
look
Exorcist
like a
season? I saw the
species or a
first
spawn
season.
violator.
Yeah,
I saw
some
the first
people
season of that show a while back.
some
and I-
people have been bringing that up. That's the second time we've had that in the
Yeah.
chat. Have you seen that one, Alex? Because I have not seen
Which
it.
one?
The Exorcist TV show.
Yes, Christina loves it.
I need to see more of it because I watched the first season like ages ago, and I
I
don't
figured
really
it was a
remember
given
much.
that you had watched it, Evan, considering The
I-
Exorcist is so
So
highly regarded.
yeah, the thing with that though is that I mean I saw The Exorcist for the first time when I was 12, but then I hadn't seen it again until I was 21, I think. So like
Bye,
the
Grandma.
gap between that, and it was only at the time that I like when I watched it as an adult where I was like, oh shit. So like that is a recent love for me, in at least
Later,
to
Gremlin.
the degree that I have it now. So I need to watch it.
Yeah, it's
The
getting a lot
show
of love.
was, what I remember is that it started off kind of rough, but then it got better. It's one of those ones.
I remember a scene in the attic that was really creepy. Or it
that
might
was in the
even-
first season for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It kind of stumbled and fumble-followed all the way
I'll have
to
to look
like
into
second
that
season.
silhouetted.
Well, now that True Detective is over, I might have to watch
Damien was okay too, but
Damien, like the movie.
the show,
There was a show.
yeah.
I'm covering the Omen franchise right now. How did I not know about this?
O says guy on the bottom doesn't look a day over 16. Well, he's
Oh,
got the most
yeah.
subscribers out of
Thank
anybody here. So
Yeah, fuck him.
put some respect on that name.
Thank you. You know what? I'll take that because usually that goes the other way where people are like, "You're 22. I thought you were 30." I'm like, "Shut!" Like, there. I work at a music lesson center, right?
Mhm.
And there are often like when there's like teenagers, they're like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "How old do you think I am?" And they're always like, 31. Fuck off.
Yeah, really.
So you know what? I'll take this.
You know, and I didn't have a beard for the longest time,
Yeah.
and then I grew it out during the pandemic, and I haven't gone back since. And I literally like turned 21, and then no, I was 22 when the pandemic hit, and so ever since then I've never been carded. If I go get a drink anywhere, nobody ever cards
I
me. You just get a
rarely
beard,
get
bro.
carded.
Like,
And I don't even have much, but I very rarely get carded.
I
was
just
told I
like,
looked
if they want my
45 when I
card,
was
I just
20.
start
I
like
was
whining about
insulted.
millennials or something,
I
and then they're like,
Those
"Oh,
31
you're clearly
young
in."
people suck.
don't know. I
Yeah.
find it kind of funny. I had that my whole life though. I remember when I was 13, someone like offered me a job because they thought that I was like working age.
Oh, they're trying to get you while you're young.
I
They
don't
want to
think
get you
Trying
in
to
the
get that
workforce.
child labor.
Yep, they don't have to pay you as much, so at least you're in the States.
I think it was like a cell phone case kiosk at the mall, so I would have been.
We
see,
should
you
get
know,
organized
you know
here, guys.
cell phones, you know technology. You got this, kid. All
I
right,
needed.
why don't we hop into
That's
some
why
of these
he's got
old,
to jump on us. You know, he knows this technology business.
why don't we hop into some of these topics today? So we're kicking things off.
Me?
You know, honestly, I think just because. No, I'll save it. We'll save it. We'll start with that as news. I was gonna say let's do Terrifier 3 first, but that was just because it's a smaller piece of news. But
Yeah.
I think that we can start with the trailers. We won't
Yeah.
spend the entire length of the the episode talking about it, but we have assembled some pretty fun trailers. Alex picked a few. I suggested one that Alex actually, we have a story. We'll save that one for last. But
Yeah.
why don't we kick things off here with Abigail? So I'm interested. I am interested. I know I was being kind of a doomsayer off stream where I was just
Kind
like,
of a
oh,
dick.
I don't want to talk about Abigail.
You pessimistic prick.
I know. I like Radio Silence. Okay, like Evan and I, we've talked enough about Radio Silence the last year between Screams 5 and 6. He knows my issues with it, but Alex, I
know
just
my
wanna
issues
say-
with them too.
Yes, we both agree on that.
Yeah.
But I personally like. I'm into this. I
looks
think
fun.
what happened with it was the way that it was described.
Why don't
The
we tell
first
them
few
what it is
articles.
first before
That,
you?
oh, okay, yeah,
Just-
fair enough.
It seems like some people don't know what it is.
Okay, so Abigail is like a essentially it's a vampire film where this little girl who's like, what is she, a ballerina?
Yeah, it's
And
from
it's
the
a-
director of
Well, I said
Ready
Radio
or Not,
Silence,
Ready or Not, and
the Scream movies, the
The
two
Scream
recent movies. But yeah, she essentially she's like a ballerina, just this little girl who, like, you got this group of people. I don't know if they're like, what are they, like? They're not mercenaries. They're just like thugs, aren't they? Essentially, but they pretty much just like go in and then they go to abduct this girl and then take her to whatever, like, I guess to some rich billionaire, it looks like. And yeah, she turns out to be a vampire, and she starts wrecking house in this giant mansion that they all get locked into. And yeah, it looks pretty wild. So I'm definitely interested in it, but I think my expectations from the first few articles that I read about it kind of made me think that it was going to be something else. I thought it was going to be more in line with our traditional Universal monster stuff, because that's what everybody kept comparing it to in the articles, but it's not that at all. So that's where I sit with it.
it feels like a comedy, definitely for sure. I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
definitely a dark comedy, which is what I love. So
Maybe I was blessed having not known anything about the movie and just watched the trailer for the first time like 20 minutes ago. I thought it looked fun.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Wait, did someone mention Nosferatu?
Yes, that's why I
Holy
put that up there
shit.
for you. See, now he's losing his mind.
Oh my god.
I wonder if Bill Skarsgård will also take on the role of Eric Draven for The Crow.
Isn't he?
I think he is. I think that's been the rumor, at least. But there's been so many rumors. I know it was supposed to be Jason Momoa for a
I'm
long
a Tex
time.
Rock
Is
star,
he gonna
Dee Dee,
top
by the way.
Saw
X.
scene? I don't know.
This is the chat with people in it. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I
I
guess
mean,
it doesn't do everybody's chat in all of them, which I
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the issue with the setup. We're working out the kinks. We're only on
We're
our
still
second
working on
stream.
everything here. So
Yeah.
we got to see how we can kind of. There might be a way we can string them together. So
We'll figure
have
it
to
out.
see. Yeah, we still got
Bear
time.
We'll
with
talk
us,
about it
guys.
off stream. We're not gonna worry about that right now.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean, tell me more. You guys wanted to talk about Abigail, so I gave the whole description. Tell if you guys want to talk about it. Let me know. I'm good.
I think the humor is on point, and I love the fact. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of James Wan's *Malignant*.
Malignant. I
Style
fucking love
humor.
that movie.
Really?
It has that
Yes,
humor. where
I
it's, like,
fucking
really
love Malignant.
I love *Malignant*. I just didn't get that vibe from it.
Oh
it's-
yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I think it's because it reminds me of the '80s so much, and like So Bad It's Good films that I just loved it because it was so
I would agree.
silly. But yeah, it kind of has that kind of vibe to it, but it does have some of that sort of Scream feel to it. So
Mhm.
I was a little like, I don't know. I'm not a big Scream fan. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, I like the first and the last one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mhm.
about it. The rest, they're okay. I mean, they're okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
nervous to cover the Scream franchise because I'm not nearly as hot on it as a lot of people are.
There's some big defenders out there for it, for
I
sure.
know. I mean, there's a
And-
lot of people who are like Scream and Evil Dead. They're the two most consistent. I mean, Evil Dead.
I mean, I
with
think
you.
Evil Dead's way more consistent than
Oh, yeah,
Scream.
me
but,
too.
You
I
know, I
agree.
think that it's
Sure.
it's the last couple Scream movies just were.
Well, come on. Most
No.
consistent, Halloween.
Oh yeah, every time. And you know what's really great about the Halloween franchise is that the fan base is all on the same page.
Uh,
That's what I really love about it.
Right? It's
We
nobody
we
argues
all
ever.
agree.
But yeah, Abigail does have a great cast. That is the last thing that I'll probably say on it. Is that
Giancarlo Esposito. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, he's in that.
Who's the guy with the glasses?
That's Stan Stevens.
Yeah, but what was he in? My brain is like, oh yes, oh.
I'm getting called out already for for saying that I'm not super hot on Scream.
Beauty and the Beast. I'm just pulled up a thing. Oh, I guess he's also going to be in Cuckoo. We talked about that last stream, so that's fun.
That looks cool.
It does look cool. He was also, and there was another movie that he was in recently. Maybe it wasn't recent. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, Apostle.
I need to see that.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. My dad recommended it to me years ago. He kept telling me I have. I know, he told me I kept having to watch it because, I mean, we both fucking like folk horror. I love
I do like Luke
so
Evans
much.
silhouetted. I think he's also doesn't get his due. Speaking of Evil Dead, I really enjoyed the 2013 movie. Oh, absolutely. Nothing but Evil Dead 2013 Defenders in here. I didn't like his Dracula movie, to be honest. Fair.
I like the original one.
Okay,
Second one.
I love the first Scream. I think the first Scream is fantastic. I love that movie. I don't think there's bad, like I don't think they're terrible, but I just feel like the Scream movies are a little too far up their own ass. And I can
go ahead.
I can cover that. I'll cover it eventually, but
do you want me to remove this this little thing here from the agenda where it was like it says Evan rants about how he hates Scream? We can remove that now.
I thought you were being so serious for a second. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm in the Google Keep. Everything's fine. Like, what do you mean we're removing something? All right, let's move on to the
love you, Evan.
We're going to talk some positives on Evan here. Evan, take it away. I swear it's not our seething jealousy. Take it away with the first Omen, since you're covering all the Omen films.
Yeah.
And you have a dedicated video to this trailer. So take us through this trailer, because I thought it was one of the better trailers. I totally agree with you that we had recently.
So I had no expectations for the first Omen because, like, obviously over the last like 6 years, we've just been inundated with like this requel formula. And I was going, this is going to be just that. I don't care if it's a prequel. It's going to feel like every single one of those movies did. And that was up to the point that they put out the first trailer, which was, I think, around when I started covering the franchise. I don't remember exactly what the timeline was there, but I was like just starting to get into the movies. And that trailer came out. It is one of the better horror trailers that I've seen in a long time, because it's the antithesis to the Abigail trailer that we were just talking about. Because whereas Abigail was basically a 3-minute cut of the movie, which is something that Universal loves to do, the trailer for the first Omen was basically a sizzle reel of like, here's the vibe, enjoy.
Right.
Which is exactly how I want that done. Like, the whole trailer's in reverse. You've got the Fever Ray song, If I Had a Heart, which is always amazing every time it shows up in anything.
I saved that right after the trailer.
Show?
Yeah, it was in Vikings. It was in Breaking Bad, and it was in Horns, that weird Daniel Radcliffe movie.
That's right.
Yeah, dude.
I like that.
That was a great movie.
It is fantastic.
It was in so it was there. The Fever Ray song, the whole thing's in reverse, which was so cool. And it didn't tell you a damn thing, but it looks so compelling. Like, I'm going through these movies right now. This doesn't look like it's going to be...
Not sure.
It doesn't look like it's playing it safe. Like, the trailer, I was like, oh, they're like doing some shit here. Like, there's some stuff that I haven't seen thus far in the franchise, which made me really excited. Because, I mean, I haven't seen the fourth one yet. I'll be covering it soon. I have heard that it's absolutely abhorrent. But so far, I mean, like, the first three, the second one's not great. The third one's good. Review's out on Friday. But it's like it's not a terrible franchise by any means. So
we're talking about the first Omen, guys.
Yeah, the first Omen. So seeing that this new one seems to be
the first Omen, meaning the new movie that's coming out that takes
place such a dumb title.
The original Omen. Sorry, yeah, that we have to be clear.
Dumb title. It's like the Xbox One, man.
The Xbox One of horror.
We just crossed the problem with it right there.
Yeah.
Have you seen the first Omen? Yeah, I totally have. No,
back in the 80s. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, so I thought the trailer was great. It's very vague and it's just a nice sizzle reel for the tone, and it doesn't give away much, and it's a cool visual style. Like it looks like it's beautifully composed. I'm excited.
Kind of
What do
looks
you guys think?
gothy, you know, goth.
Yeah, there's a bit of like a goth punk vibe towards the end
Right,
of it
yeah.
where I was like, "Oh shit, this is something different."
Yeah, I
I
kinda
like
like
this,
that.
which is what excites me now because we've seen so many movies in this requel trend. I'm calling it that even though it's a prequel. Where it's just been like the most by the numbers bullshit. So when I saw this trailer and I was seeing those images, especially towards the end of the trailer, where I'm like, okay, that's different. That makes me excited.
Right. See, that's the thing I want to point out is that I'm not going to mention which franchise, by the way, just for the sake of it. But there was one. It's like I don't. If you're going to do these kind of things, don't borrow kills from other movies. Just do it as a news story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do
You
your
can't get
thing.
past me, Alex.
I mean, that's my problem with the first one, you know, of the requel one that you're talking about. But it's I want it to see. I want to feel new. I don't want to feel nostalgia. I don't need
Yeah.
nostalgia. If I want it nostalgia, I'll just watch The Omen.
Of course,
You know what I mean?
exactly, and that's what makes me excited about this trailer is that it doesn't look like they're just trying to do the Omen again.
I can agree with everything you've said there. I also, this was an interesting one for me because like I did not give a shit about this movie at all. I
me
literally
neither.
did not care. I was like, oh my god, the first Omen, are you serious? This is gonna be a joke. And then yeah, that trailer, like I was sold. I watched it and I was like, that was short and like very weird. And then I'm like, I watched it again and I watched it again and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go see this movie. Like, I mean, I was gonna see it for the channel anyway, but like, you know, it's one of those things where I'm actually like, I'm gonna look forward to this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the tone is definitely very interesting. Unfortunately, I tried to re-verify this, but I don't think I ever got to talk to you about this, Evan. But did you look up the director's filmography shortly after the trailer came
For the
out?
first Omen,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a new director.
Did you see
Basically.
the like his upcoming projects that were listed at one point?
Are you talking about the Jackal?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a sequel.
Okay.
I looked into this for like 3 hours after because I was like,
Mhm.
where are people getting this idea? And what it seems to me is that at one point while they were in the production of this movie, it had a name. They were calling it the Jackal. And I'm assuming it was early on enough in production that when they created the page for the first Omen, they just created a whole new thing. Because what I could find was people were like, oh, it's the same director, it's the same cast. And I'm like, yeah, but it was also the same premise. And it was listed under the first Omen on IMDb Pro. So I think it was just a working title for the movie, especially because it looks like we might be dealing, or we're dealing with the birth of Damien essentially. And considering he was born from a jackal, it makes sense that this movie would have a working title called The Jackal.
What's
I
up,
could be
Paul?
wrong. Could be wrong.
I
think I want to mention about Arkasha Stevens is the name of the guy, and he also did one of the latter creepypasta Channel Zero series. He did like 6 episodes. So if that's the case, I'm on board because those all of them besides the first season I loved. So I mean, and if he did the door one, that was a good one too. So
imagine Chucky versus Michael Myers movie. I
I
don't
could
want
see that.
I don't want
I can
That would
see
be a
that.
short movie, man.
That's like so I've been doing I know you guys know this. People in the out world might not know this, but I've been doing research for my next unmade Halloween essay. And so one of the things that I got reminded of was that at one point they were basically courting the idea of doing a Hellraiser Pinhead versus Michael movie.
What an odd combo.
It's so strange, isn't it? And the only reason they wanted to do it was because Dimension at the time, this was under when they had it, they had both the rights to the films.
Right.
And yeah, it was definitely one that I was like, oh my god, that's I'm so happy that did not happen because that was so bad. That would have been awful. Like you can't mix the worlds of that because Hellraiser is so not like grounded, and Michael Myers, like Halloween, is at least sort of grounded, right? Like a little bit. I know he doesn't die, but like, you know, it's kind of grounded. They just wouldn't work. They wouldn't work at all.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Dee Dee. By the way, this is someone who's been a nice regular on the channel recently.
Yeah.
Yep. Same here.
Cool.
I think she came from Alex and then subscribed to all of us.
No. I think it was from Evan actually, because it was
really okay. Then Evan came over and she's been
all right.
Commenting
well, thanks for all the support on all of us, Dee Dee.
We appreciate
everyone.
it.
Thank you.
I would like to see Doug Bradley come back one more time, but is he too old at this point?
He was saying he wanted to play like a darker, more serious Pinhead, so maybe he wouldn't need to do. I mean, Pinhead isn't exactly like a physically demanding role anyway. As long as
now
he can
that
stand
that's
up
in
straight.
his head, it's never going to change. I really have always wanted them to do a different sect in hell, like completely different Cenobites, like, and then eventually have them meet up with another one. You know, like
he's 70.
Like I wanted like the jihad in hell. You know, like they had different laws and rules that they fought against each other, like that they believed in and on Earth to get people to feel pain. And they would fight against each other, and the people in between would be the sort of, you know, people.
No, you've brought that idea, I think, off stream before once to me, and I agree with you. I think like seeing a different side of it that's not just the same Cenobites that we're used to seeing would be great. I'd love to go deeper into that and see what more
Clive Barker would be all about it.
Oh, absolutely, because he's got all kinds of different designs.
I haven't dived into it much yet. I've seen the first two, and me and my buddy were hanging out one night. We're like, let's just pick a random franchise and watch a movie that's like super deep in it so we can be confused. We're just bored. We watched like Hellraiser 8 or something, and it was just like, what the fuck is this?
Speaking of Sinister, our boy, he did one of those movies.
What do you mean?
Which one?
Fucking, what's his name? Scott Derrickson.
I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, he did a Hellraiser movie.
He did a Hellraiser movie, did he?
Yep, it was Inferno, I think.
What the hell?
I'm dead serious, yeah.
I might have to watch that.
It was early in his career.
Really?
Let me see. He did, at least I'm 99% sure he did it.
I thought you were saying, first I was so confused because I thought you were going, you know, Scott Derrickson did a Sinister movie? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, Hellraiser Inferno was his, it was his first, it was his Alien 3. It was his first featured debut, and then
I'm gonna have to check that out.
And then he never talks about it anymore. Yeah, no, I got that. Let me catch up here. I highlighted this comment because this I would like to see. John Carpenter make a Dead Space movie. I don't know how into the Dead Space
that
games
would be
you guys
sick.
are, but like he would definitely tackle that material. I think really well.
He would do it well.
What do you got to say, Alex? What are you going to say to break my heart?
I mean, the thing that makes me a little nervous, and I know that there's fans of it, but what was the Mars movie he did?
Ghosts of Mars. It was a different time. All right?
I don't care.
It was a different time.
It's very possible he can slip right into that like a fucking warm glove, a dirty, nasty, cum-ridden glove.
Jesus. You know who I would like to see actually do that though? Now that we're kind of talking about this, maybe Damien Rugna do Dead Space. You think that he would be able to tackle it?
I think you've suggested him for the last few
I don't give a
hypothetical
fuck,
movies we've
Evan,
talked about.
Right? Damn, because he's gonna agree with me.
He's great. I don't disagree. I actually agree with you. He'd be great at it.
His ideology is that he wants to create new horror, so he would never do it.
Yeah.
I know, because when we talked to him, you could just tell.
Yeah.
He wants to make stuff that no one's ever seen before. Yeah. And so far, I mean, we've seen some pretty good shit. You know what I mean?
Someone's asking if I'm Canadian. How the hell did you know I was Canadian?
Come on,
probably
look at you.
I mean,
you and your little beady eyes and your.
We just have a.
Hey, buddy.
Starts talking like the.
I'm not your guy, friend.
Up.
Yeah. Actually, my province got shouted out in one of the episodes.
Really?
Yeah, you did. You shouted that out.
I was the tiny mushroom people of Nova Scotia.
Almost made a Paradise Lost film. He last wrote the guy who directed the original Crow and Dark City. Oh,
I have an accent?
That's sick.
What the fuck?
Concept art.
And wait, who wrote Dark City?
No, it was Scott Derrickson essentially almost
Oh.
made a Paradise Lost film, or at least wrote it. The guy who directed the original Crow and Dark City, I think, was going to direct it. The concept was sick. That's one of those ones that, just like when we were talking about all of the At the Mountains of Madness and stuff, that's one of those ones where I'm like that. I don't know if you could ever really get that material made. I think like there will be a lot of solid attempts one day, but that's going to be a hard story to really ace, I would think. You really got to get a visionary and a budget. That's what you need.
That's what I was saying. Like Panos Cosmatos or Cosmatos, because like he's so far out there, it almost works. Same thing with like, you know, what's his name before he canceled himself with with The Color Out of Space or whatever.
Oh, Richard Stanley.
Yeah.
Somewhat
really upsets me. I'm like, dude, why would you fuck that up?
Thinking of Panos, my buddy texted me the other day. He goes, "You ever watch Mandy?" I went, "One of my favorite movies." He goes, "Do you know what the fuck was going on?" Him and his mom had just watched it for the first time. He goes, "I think I needed to be high in order to understand it."
What a wonderful family film to sit down.
They do that all the time, dude. He was like, they watch this kind of shit all the time. He showed her Terrifier 2 recently.
Oh my god!
You want to hold on? She really liked it. Do you know what was the one moment in that movie that, like, really got to her, and it was the only thing in the movie that bothered her? It was when Art breaks Allie's arm.
That's the part?
That was the only thing. Not him taking the arm off, just him breaking it. That was the only thing in the movie.
Bones stick out, does she?
Yeah, that was the only thing in the movie that got under her skin.
But the bedroom buffet, totally fine.
I mean, that's
totally
part of the
valid.
bedroom buffet.
Very good.
But she was like, that part was fucked. The rest of this is fine.
The bedroom buffet.
Oh my god. I remember sitting in the theater, and this is like, it was so perfectly timed. It was like a fucking sitcom. When he walks in that room with the salt and the bleach,
dude,
Luke and I just we just like so it's like I'm there, I'm here, my sister's next to me, it's Luke and then his wife. So like, because my sister was a big Terrifier fan, so she's like, I gotta go see 2 with you guys. So we're like, all right, let's go. And I just remember Luke and I just sitting there, just like at that scene, just going at the same time. We just stared at each other like, is this fucking happening?
I remember.
Like, I love it. I always show people that part too.
It didn't play near me in theaters at first, but I did get to catch the reruns. And there was a couple behind me who had never seen the movie before. And that was one of my favorite things I've ever experienced in a theater, was getting to watch people see Terrifier 2 for the first time and just lose their fucking minds. Because they were like, hey, let's go for movie night. This sounds fun.
I do want to clear this up real quick. With the color of his face, what did he do, blackface or something? No, I think that what we got misconstrued was it was Color Out of Space.
Color Out.
We were talking Richard Stanley. There was no blackface.
No, so the director of Color Out of Space, he allegedly, I don't know whatever happened to it because I didn't look into it. I was so disappointed. I just didn't want to hear it ever again.
No, I feel that.
Apparently him and his wife had some physical altercations together. Both of them are extremely big alcoholics, I've heard. I don't know what happened with that, but supposedly there were some physical altercations, and then the company who produced Color Out of Space, which was one of my favorite movies at the time, they were going to make a trilogy, and they canceled it instantly when that came out.
Yeah, they were all supposed to be different Lovecraft adaptations, weren't they?
Dunwich Horror was going to be the next one, which I was so fucking excited about because the old one isn't bad.
An excellent studio.
But
yeah, I agree with you. I think that was such a shame. I mean, I hate when, not to get on this whole soapbox, but whenever you're like super into somebody like as a creative and then they just do something really shitty and it's like, oh fuck, like,
no, it's like,
god damn it. But you know, I used to love Kanye West, so that's the world I live in. So it's so difficult.
A rough one.
Yep.
Okay, what are some bullet points?
It's been a tough couple of years. But no, anyway, let's go to the trailer I've been waiting to discuss.
Okay. No, wait, we missed one.
No, we didn't. I'm not talking. If you guys want to talk about Imaginary, that's fine.
I want to hear what your thoughts are.
I don't know if I think I saw the trailer for that in a theater. Clearly, it didn't leave much of an impression because I don't remember it.
But the new one shows so much more.
I don't want to see it then. I'm gonna go see the movie either way. I don't want to ruin it for myself.
Then I will talk about it. I was not interested in the movie until I saw this news trailer. Okay. And it showed a commercial for the bear in the movie, which is
I miss the old Kanye. That's all.
Imaginary friend that comes to life, and this bear that is like an evil bear. And it is kind of silly, and it does look a little CGI fucked, but
there is an imaginary horror film, and then there's imaginary. Sorry, I'm just clarifying things for them.
Right. I did like Megan quite a bit, so if it's like Megan, then maybe I'll have fun with it.
I think it's going to be in that vein.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's not a perfect movie. Like, I wanted it to go so much further than it did, but
the unrated cut is better.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't add a lot though. It's not.
Right.
It's a little bit more gory, but
I mean, it is better though.
Okay, it's the same movie, but you know, I'll agree with you. It's it is.
What is your issue with it? Just tell me.
I just think that like when it first started to pop up, you know, we got a like an email for it right before they released the trailer, where they sent us like the poster, the synopsis, and I was like, oh, this sounds cool. This actually seems like it could be a really fun idea. And the first trailer I liked. And then more stuff started to come out about the movie and kind of what the story is. And I'm sorry, it feels like it's just gonna, like, it has promise, but it feels like it's just gonna fall into the same old Blumhouse bullshit, where it's just gonna turn into a demon, a ghost of some sort that they're just gonna defeat, or it's gonna be something goofy. And it doesn't feel anything new, like, especially after seeing Night Swim, where it was just dirty water.
I was just gonna say, I hope it's better than Night Swim.
Yeah, I'm just really losing my faith out of there. I want something like good to chew on. You know what I mean? Like, I need something with a little bit more meat on the bone. Like Stop Motion this past weekend, fucking great movie. Lots of stuff.
Right, but that's not a comedy. So I mean,
okay, so you think Imaginary is a comedy?
I think it will be kind of riding
like comedy
line.
horror, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I didn't get that impression from the first trailer.
I just feel like that's kind of inherent with the concept.
Right. It's a dark comedy. It's one of those things that, like, it probably is going to ride the line so much that some people are going to be like, I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh or not. Yeah. And people will hate it just for that reason, probably alone. Or be like Dylan and just hate it off. No, I'm kidding.
Just hate it unconditionally.
Just be a negative prick, I guess.
Oh, I'm a piece of shit.
I didn't say that.
And then let's see. This is kind of unrelated, I guess.
Yeah, that one too.
Maybe you can all touch on this later, but did you guys see the new Saw movie from last year? What'd you think? Yeah, I liked the new Saw. Saw X was good. I was very happy with that one.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it's been years since I've seen any of the other movies. Like, I don't think I've actually watched most of them since I was like 14, 15, and then whenever the new ones were coming out.
The last one I saw was Jigsaw. Before that, I didn't see Spiral. I wanted to see it, but I just never.
I've never seen Spiral, but
the last
one,
Saw X,
I thoroughly enjoyed.
The last one that I saw before. Fuck you,
you.
Son of a bitch. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Alex, you keep doing this tonight. You're like saying things and it doesn't seem like you're joking at first, and then like 5 seconds will go by. He's reeling us in tonight, boys.
Fucking God, you made him go full White House just there. Well, they're talking about the Thing sequel. I would love that, but I don't think we could ever do it properly. I would like if anything, for The Thing was to come out, I would want another remake with it just taking the material and doing something different with it again from like the book Who Goes There. Just kind of twisting it, because I think that concept is just like endless. I think you can really mess with it and do a bunch.
A sequel also wouldn't work because the end of The Thing is literal perfection.
It is.
Like, don't mess with that. So,
although like being a huge fan of it, I like exploring that, but I agree with you. I don't think it needs to happen.
There's like 3 films in my life that have made me a big horror fan. Well, there's many,
interesting,
obviously, but like Trilogy of Terror scared the piss out of me so that I was like interested. I think Poltergeist is in there somewhere, but I would say The Thing, when I saw that chest compression scene, that literally shook the fuck out of me when I saw that. I was like, I went pale. because it's the scariest thing I ever saw.
How
And it
old
didn't
were you when you
stop.
first saw it?
I saw it on like HBO or something, like it was on cable TV or something for the first time. You know, I didn't get to see it when I was in the theater. I was far too young, you know, like but when I saw it, my parents used to do wedding videography, so they would go on the weekends and I would just be there by myself. So I would they would go to a wedding and then I would just sit there and watch shit that I shouldn't watch.
So when
And I would
Alex
be like,
became a
"Oh
horror
God,
fan.
they're coming home soon, right?"
Silhouette. I agree that you can't remake the 1980s version of The Thing, but what they could do is readapt other elements from the novel.
Right.
Because the thing with The Thing is that it's not even really a remake of The Thing from Another World. It's a readaptation of the original source material.
Yep.
So I think if you approach it from that perspective, then it does make more sense. Because I don't think it's accurate to call the 80s version a remake. But
you know,
Yeah,
I think
it's
it was
on
it
the
was
line.
the easiest thing for them to do from a marketing perspective back then, because like thinking of it, that was the only thing they had to go off of, because the short story itself wasn't very well known. It wasn't even very popular.
Dude,
So it's
honestly,
one of
John
those
Carpenter's a genius for that movie because of like how visionary he
Yeah.
was with that. Like that's amazing.
he took the material that was like the Howard Hawks, I think, was the one who did the original.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that was such a straightforward monster movie in comparison.
Yeah.
As to where like he took the material and actually brought it back to kind of what the horror was, the body snatching element.
It's
really
much
giving
closer
that
to the
back.
novel.
Yep. And
A similar thing happened with It, where like the 2017 version is called a remake a lot, but it's not a remake. It's just readapting.
it's reinterpretation.
Yeah.
New adaptation. Yeah.
Which, by the way, that is my favorite novel of all time.
It. Yeah, I mean it's an intimidating one. I haven't gone through it yet, but I'll get there. I have to. I know the full story because I I listened to the Losers
Oh, the
Club.
full story.
Yeah, yeah, I know the scene. I know what you're talking about.
I didn't believe that was real.
No,
While I was reading it, people like around me kept being like, "Have you heard about?" I'm like, "No, you're fuck off. That does not happen."
It does.
And I was reading at work one day,
and that's where
I'm going like, hold on a second.
Wait, did I read this right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't believe anyone that was real.
It's a great read.
And then I got to it. I was at work reading it, and I was like, "Can I be doing this right now?"
This is some Stephen King smut right here.
I gotta say that's a little questionable, but I get it. Like,
dude, he's
totally
my favorite
understand.
author, but there will be points when I'm reading his books where it'll be normal, everything's good, and then there's like one line where I'm just like, "Oh yeah, this is a King novel. I forgot."
Yeah, it happens a lot.
I remember a line in it, not from that scene, where there's I can't remember who it is, but there's a couple, an adult couple in bed.
Yeah.
And he's describing it like just the scene of them laying together, and he just goes, and his erection pointed north like a compass. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, why is that there?
Yeah, there's like a whole segment, because I just went through Pet Cemetery, where just like randomly after an argument, he just starts describing intercourse, like just the element of that, and I'm just like, oh, okay. That's really vivid. Like
Pet Cemetery might be the book that has like disturbed me the most, which was surprising because like I've seen the movie so many times, but the way he describes everything around death in the novel of Pet Cemetery is so tangible. Like it's a great book.
When you talk about the other elements, the sexual elements or whatever, I was thinking of like Clive Barker. It's like he gets real.
Oh well,
he gets real spicy.
I mean, I guess
it doesn't feel as out of place there, though. Yeah, with like Clive Barker, like he incorporates that stuff into his stories, but with Stephen King, you'll be into a story that's not about that, and then it'll just randomly have this line about like, he was so scared that the hair on his testicles was wriggling, and you're like, what the fuck, man?
Hey, man, sometimes you wriggle.
Sometimes you be wriggling.
Oh yeah, the kids scene.
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it.
All right, we're gonna do a dissection here. Yes, cocaine is a hell of a drug. That's what the big rumor is with King, is that he was.
That's not a rumor. He said it.
Up. Oh yeah, he said that.
Yeah,
I think he did a good job. Actually, I don't know why.
Yeah, no,
I like Maximum Overdrive.
This is a good question. What Stephen King book do you recommend to start off with?
My first was Dolores Claiborne, so it wasn't even a horror novel. And I thought that was an absolutely phenomenal book. I wouldn't start off with it because it's
Yeah,
a
it's too much at
colossal.
the
It's
end.
huge. It's very intimidating, and
Yeah, you
it's
need to
tough
kind of
read.
get used to how tangentially he writes.
Maybe The
a bit
Shining.
was very Canadian.
The
Maybe
Shining is not bad. I
You
mean,
know what?
Probably a really
Pet
good starter book.
Cemetery, you'll get through pretty quick. I would actually start with, personally, I would go with like one of his anthology books.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
I think
Night
those would be
Shift
a
or something.
Actually, I have
Night
two
Shift would
books
probably be a better
right
way to
next to
get
me. What
you
do I have? I have
into
End of
it.
Watch and Finders Keepers right next to me. So there you go.
Yeah.
Do you guys want a hot
Bag
take?
of Bones. Sure, go ahead.
All right. So, The Shining is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's amazing. Love everything about it. It's perfection. I like the novel of Doctor Sleep more than the novel of The Shining.
Right.
I enjoyed reading Doctor Sleep quite a bit
I hear
more.
that a lot, actually. So you're not alone.
Yeah, like the Shining novel is good, but I do feel like it's an example where the adaptation was better. Like I think that the movie is better. It's very different. It's a lot more vague, but I liked reading Doctor Sleep more. And I also love the Flanagan movie. I thought that was
I
great.
really like Night Shift. I think you'll like that a lot. There's a lot of really great stories that went on to be movies and stuff in there
Yeah.
too. So
Boogeyman is in there, isn't it?
Yeah, Boogeyman's in that one. Which
Because I
one
have
was
that one, and I think I read
sometimes they come back.
which
Can't
one
think
was
of the other one.
the Mist in?
That was in the. Oh, now I can't even think of it. It was in the.
That was like one of my favorite adaptations.
I know it's the
King-wise.
White Book. I just can't think of what it's called.
Hang on, I'm just pulling it up real quick. A part of the Dark Forces anthology. No, that was its first thing. It's Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. That's the one. Yeah.
Yep, Skeleton Crew. You've got that one. That's the one with the monkey on the cover.
You read all of Night Shift in one night?
That's
Oh my
pretty
God.
good.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
Damn.
sometimes you can his books will just take you, and you'll just go.
Oh yeah, I mean I've been lost in them, but
The Skeleton Crew also has The Raft, which was in Creep Show 2. If you've never seen Creep Show 2, you're missing out. It's a great one.
Honestly, all of his short stories are great.
Mhm.
they are. He's
Like,
a very
honestly,
good
they
short
really
story
are.
writer.
Luke
He's
and I have
very
always
good at
have
it.
always agreed that like King is like
Hold the fuck on.
better in doses sometimes.
You've never seen The Shining.
Well, maybe you should. I don't know. Maybe see that's
Mist
why you
is a
might need to read the book
masterpiece.
first. Just but
Actually, that would be interesting. Take advantage of that and read the novel first, because most people do not get that
Ashland
experience.
Slasher.
Most people have
It's
seen
true.
the movie first. So
He's
I
right.
would
He's a
actually do
Cynthia.
that so that you can say you read the novel first.
yeah, same
I-
here, Cynthia. I'm the
I
same
agree.
way.
With ADHD, the short stories just work better for sure. Till I got on Adderall, that was that was a huge problem for me with
The-
reading.
The novel that I'm working on started off as a short story, and then it just kept going.
Well, that's how a lot of King stuff goes. But hey,
Yeah.
let's talk about this last trailer real quick.
Oh yeah,
We did it
again because we still have news we have to talk about. So
well, we gotta hang out with our friends.
we
you know,
do.
It's
We
a-
gotta.
No, I'm not upset.
We gotta talk about that. But I want to talk about now. For those of you in the chat, this is technically it was a leaked trailer
yeah,
to the public. Alex got to see it on the big screen this weekend
with stop motion.
with stop motion. We saw a screener for that, so we didn't get any trailers. If I would have known that was going to be ahead of it, I would have definitely made some time to go see it because, yeah, we're going to talk about In a Violent Nature.
Do you want to
which,
pop it up so they can kind of like get a
we
visual?
might get ripped down.
By the way, I was
Oh,
not aware
yeah,
of
I
this
didn't think about
until
that.
tonight when you sent the trailer.
Oh
I did
yeah,
not
yeah.
know about it.
See, like Alex called me after he saw stop motion, and we talked for like an hour just about the
Yeah.
movie and YouTube and other things. But he mentioned this trailer, and I thought like, oh, it's the teaser that he saw. You know, like that was the teaser that's been out for a while. And then like today, I see this leaked trailer on Twitter, and I'm just like, holy shit, this is a full ass trailer. And then I was just like, Alex, is this what you saw? And he's like, yeah, that was in front of the movie. I'm like, I had no fucking idea, dude. Like, this is
Yeah.
great.
It looks
So it's called
amazing.
In a Violent Nature, and it's
I'll
coming
pull
to
up a
Shudder.
poster. I'll pull up a poster.
I think they're kind of deciding if they're going to put it out for a limited release in the theaters, which I think it probably will get one now
I can tell you just because. No, go ahead and finish your point. I'll
no. I mean, I was just making a guess. I don't know. I just assumed that's why they sent this out, just to get the feelers. And I think now that people are posting it everywhere and they're taking it down, that they're probably going to put it in theaters, because I've never. I mean, do you guys ever see like when they put a trailer up for theaters only? It's like it's not a festival. We saw that the stop motion movie, so it's not like it's like secret. So I don't really get it.
Yeah.
So it's weird. They must be doing something.
It looks like it'll be theatrical.
But yeah, this is like a Jason movie, guys. It looks like a slasher.
Do we know when this is coming out, or is it just 2024? July. Okay.
I thought it was a fan film for Jason when I first saw it.
This looks like one of the best. This is one of the best slasher movie trailers I've seen in a very long time. This is fantastic. I wish we could play it. Like, I wish we could watch it, but that's not happening.
The last line of that trailer is what made me a fan instantly.
What did they say?
Killers do what they do. They don't put much thought into it.
Right.
And he's slamming a thing on someone's head.
I think I was just so taken by the presentation of the trailer.
Yeah.
And just the raw reactions we were getting from people as he's approaching it. Oh my God. Like, I just found out about this movie like an hour ago. And I'm already like, this is one of my most anticipated of the year now.
I like straightforward. So here's my thing. And I just want to mention this because I feel like I think we talked about it. Did I talk about this with somebody recently? My personal opinion is that slashers need to just be, they're straightforward. I understand that we've evolved and we can get all spicy and cool and do trickery things, but the more you do of that, the more of the essence of the slasher, in my opinion, you lose. And I think this is like a reset, like back to form of slasher. And it's like very raw and just straightforward. And there's going to be people that hate it, but I still think that slashers need to be pretty direct.
It looks great.
This looks exactly like what I've been wanting out of a slasher for, like, I love X. You know, as far as that was called a slasher when it came out, everybody was like, "Oh, it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre," which I think that's a very good comparison in the sense. Well, and I say that, Evan, because like it's like a little bit more highbrow. I think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, being a bit more highbrow slasher, as to where this looks like Friday the 13th. This looks fun.
But you know what?
This looks intense.
You know what? To me, this looked like a much darker take on Friday the 13th, which is what makes me really excited. Like, this felt like a little more serious. Like, obviously, Friday the 13th tends to lean a little more into some goofy shit, whether intentionally or unintentionally. But this looked a little more like gritty, and that is what has me really excited for this.
Now, there is one thing I saw in the trailer. I don't know if you guys caught it, but it said hilariously brutal.
Yes.
Okay.
So that made me wonder, like, okay,
is it excessively
I don't think it
violent,
necessarily means it's comedy. I think they're just saying it's going to be so brutal that it's like over the top a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me run through a couple of these, and then I know a good bit about this movie, so I want to tell you guys a couple things that I haven't heard you guys mention yet. So I think it'll change how you kind of, not in a bad way, but I think it'll change how you're thinking about it. But I just highlighted this because it looks like stop motion's getting some mixed reviews. Alex and I are both huge on it. We both gave it very positive reviews.
Play the trailer.
Wait, they gave us a super thanks.
Thank you, man.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
I do appreciate that. I mean, I don't know how the hell we can play it. Like, if you guys have an idea,
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because we'll get ripped down right away.
We're just trying to start up this thing, man. We can't.
The reason why I don't want to do it is because I already have a copyright strike on my channel right now. I need to wait till May, and then I'm good. Like,
how about this, guys? While you're watching us, type in a violent nature full trailer and Twitter, and you'll find it.
There you go.
It's not a. You're not going to see it like
silhouette
the
looks
raw
like he found
video.
it.
It's like from behind the screen.
Oh, yeah,
it's like a phone recording.
It's old. It's old school. It's old school piracy, brother.
It's full on bootleg.
It's part of the marketing. Agreed. Canadians.
What the fuck?
It is a Canadian horror film, though. Just if you didn't know, Evan, it was produced up there.
It's not that we're going to play the trailer to get caught. It's that they're actually pulling, like, they're saying like you're not allowed to show any of it, like it's a secret.
It's leaked. It's not for public. Like,
well, it is, watch. But that's what I don't understand. They played it at stop motion, so why the hell is it such a big deal?
It's like you have to. It's one of those things. It was like when the Exorcist trailer played before Oppenheimer for like a weekend. Yeah, I'm sure this trailer will drop midweek, but like they wanted to play in front of that movie for a few days. Like that's their whole thing.
If I could go see stop motion, I would.
Right? You need to, dude.
I
almost want to reach out to I was thinking about reaching out to fucking the person who sent us it, because like they were actually from the studio that made it, and seeing if they would send you a screener. But I was just like, because it was a few days after the release, I don't know if they'll still do it. But I could do it for you. I could ask.
I mean, if you can hook it up, I'd love to see the movie.
Like, I will ask for you. I'll see. But yeah, no, there's a couple of a really good. History of Evil. Gaz, I have a review up on my channel with Luke. It was okay. It was all right.
That one's I'm a little nervous to touch because like everybody's so heated about everything anymore, but I'll do it. I just need to watch it. I just haven't had time.
Right, stricken. I got you. Yeah, I feel you, brother. I've been there too.
I have a lot of physical media that I got to cover in the next couple of days that are out Tuesday, so I have to get those up, and then I'll probably do it afterwards.
Yeah, Cynthia says it was good. They liked it. So let me tell you. So the things about this movie. So I've already been doing my groundwork on this when I learned about this movie. I already talked to one of the producers of it. So we're already in the loop there. We're gonna get to see this thing when it comes out. They said it's coming out in July.
Okay.
They said that they are shooting for a theatrical release, and then it will follow up on Shudder, just kind of like how stop motion is. So you're right there.
Oh, I probably won't get to see it then.
Sorry, buddy. But if you didn't know, one of the early synopsises for this movie mentions this as that this is all from the POV of the serial killer. So all the people that we see, they're just victims. We are going to follow this killer as he's going around murdering people. That's the movie.
That's great.
So sick.
Isn't that fucking great?
You know what though? It's not the most original. I mean, I'm not going to say because I just watched a movie called The Black Mass, which is a release that's coming out on Tuesday for physical, and it was with Ted Bundy doing the same thing.
Oh, Elijah Wood and Maniac, perfect example. That's literally a first-person slasher movie.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's a very good way to.
That's a brutal movie.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Thing is fucked. It's not fun to watch.
Have you guys seen? I know Alex has probably seen it. Evan, have you seen the original Maniac?
A long time ago.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
It's on Shudder. I like Spinella. I think he's pretty good in that role. I think he's really creepy and just weird looking.
I think the movies are both different enough.
Portrait of a Serial Killer stuck with me a little more.
Really?
Definitely. Well, yeah, that's like one of the worst, dude. Like that one, like Christina will not watch that movie.
Yeah, that one. No, I don't actually. To be honest, I don't remember anything from it, which is odd. But like, it just like I can remember the impact of it, and that had more to me than Maniac. Maybe I'll need to watch it again. It's been
that's a very raw movie.
I might have been like 13 when I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Maniac is one of my
both
favorites
rough.
For sure.
They're both rough.
It's definitely rough, but I will tell you that Maniac is one of my favorite, like really brutal like slasher films.
Yeah,
I think
I think the name right? Joe
Spinell, yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you get the early Tom Savini effect, so that's really cool.
And he gets his head blown off with a shotgun.
I know, he did it himself. It was fantastic.
Right, yeah.
He shot his own head.
Late Night
Both
with the
movies
Devil,
are kind of like
absolutely.
Suspiria, you know, like the new one and the,
Yeah.
the old one.
Mhm.
You know, like I respect both of them.
I doubt we'll get a follow-up to When Evil Lurks, but I think like
No, he
I
won't
think
do
I don't see that
we
happening.
might get a movie that's in the same universe in a sense, because I watched an interview where he said he would like to kind of go back to the same world,
You
but he
mean
wouldn't
our
want to.
interview?
The what? Oh, is that was your interview?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I've seen like 5 or 6 interviews with him.
No,
So
I'm
like it's all
sorry.
I
Yeah.
think he's said that in a couple, but yeah,
Maybe.
he mentioned that he wants to go back to that universe. And
Leslie Vernon with a GoPro. Do
yeah.
you see that?
Yeah,
That's a great
I'm still
idea.
fine with that.
By the way, Behind the Mask is such an under-recognized movie.
I love that movie.
I watch it every year. Like Halloween morning, I watch it every year. I fucking adore that movie.
That's one of those
That's the kind of horror satire I like, that and like Cabin in the Woods. I think it's part of the reason I didn't jive with Scream as much, was just like the meta stuff doesn't do as much for me. But with I don't know, there was a way that Behind the Mask handled it that I really, really loved.
Really
And
weird blend of stuff. Is like 3 different things, right? Like
yeah, I love it.
it's like
though.
found footage and then like a faux doc and then like a straight up film, which is just wild.
I think part of it was just the performance, like Nathan, what's his last name? I can't remember his last name right now, but the dude who plays Leslie Vernon is so charismatic.
Yeah,
like he's so good, and you
It's-
get like
I
Scott
love the
Wilson
part-
is in it.
I love the part where they like have a moment in the like, is it in the library where like
Yeah.
she like senses him stalking her,
Yeah.
and he gets all like, it's so heartwarming when everybody gets excited for him, like we
Yeah.
did it, we had a genuine connection there. It's like,
Yeah.
I love that.
Dude, you're making me want to watch that movie right now.
I gotta
love it
say,
that
I think
much.
that that was one of the first movies that I checked out from Dr. Wolfula. I'm pretty sure
I think
one of the first reviews. I think early on.
I mean, it was probably his video that made me watch the movie. I can't remember, but it
Mhm.
probably was, because Dr. Wolfula is the goat.
They want to see your doggy, Alex.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Didi, he's asleep right now.
Wake him
He's
up.
yeah, I don't know. If I do that, he's gonna want to go
What
outside for
you
20
doing?
minutes.
Yeah. Cynthia saying she loved the interview. There,
Yes,
Alex.
thank you. I've been doing things. I didn't want to interrupt because I feel like I do it too much.
You're fine, buddy. Yeah, and then doesn't work well. Oh yeah, Cynthia's not a big fan of meta. They've been pretty open
I
about
can see
that.
why some people.
I think
wouldn't
she
like
means
it. That's
meta
totally
horror.
valid.
Mm-hmm.
Just
No,
like,
I got that. Not meta, the Facebook thing.
Yeah. I'm very tired.
Yeah, but meta horror, it's an acquired taste. I think that not everybody does it well. I think that Behind the Mask is one of the best when it comes to
too.
the meta horror stuff. It's right up there with like Scream, even though they're two separate animals when it comes to the meta approach. But yeah, I think that this is great. I like Wolfula's reviews of The Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. Yep, I always look forward to those.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's literally YouTube horror legend.
I mean, he's the reason I make videos.
Mm.
Was like growing up watching Dr. Wolfula shit.
I
Between
only
like
make them because of Evan.
same here.
What?
I pivoted my entire content model to just copy Evan. So
You are the wind beneath my wings, sir.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what the fuck to say, man.
you make good videos. That's what happened, buddy.
You definitely inspired me because you've done well. So
It's good to have you in our corner because now we
so
get to
if
learn.
any of you guys want to come on over and I've stolen his formula and we're gonna go ahead and move forward. Just kidding, no.
And that's fair, Mr. Boone.
Dang.
It's it's an acquired taste. Like, I mean, it doesn't work for everybody. So
I think I gave it like a 6.5 or a 7. I did. It's unique as hell, but I didn't love it. It was just
love
like
the vibe of it, man. The vibe
yeah,
is
it's
so
cool.
good.
I like watching it. It's fun.
I think it's kind of like some people really love like I really love What We Do in the Shadows. Some people think that it's just stupid. Like they
Never
don't get
seen
with
it.
it. It's so good. The show and the movie are both excellent. I would recommend them.
Do it, Reaper.
Reaper, do it.
Don't worry about editing. You'll figure it out
Yeah,
as you go.
Just do it. Just start.
Don't worry about
immediately.
having everything prim and proper. Just do it.
Yep.
Because that's the thing, you're just going to change it as you go along.
Yep.
Once you learn something new, or you
100%.
discover something that you like to do more than others, like you're just going to keep going. Like,
I'm assuming you have a phone. There's free video editing
you
software
go.
everywhere. Start.
My buddy has a bigger channel than I do, and he literally held his cell phone up and did reviews, and now he's well over 15,000 followers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't do any editing, and I hate him for it.
100%. Yeah. I mean, fuck him. Yeah, but yeah.
I will say
no,
the thing that I do not envy Evan for is that his videos, like where Luke and I can sit down and, you know, just talk about a film, like a trailer or something for, you know, 20 minutes and just have a conversation. Evan has to script everything and set everything up and then piece it all together. Fucking asshole.
Dude, I was working on my Blood and Honey script today, and I wrote the whole thing in one sitting because I was just like,
all right, guys, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah,
I just start feeding everything to Chat GPT, and it just
Alex,
just
you
it
know,
all out for me.
Wait, Alex, was that because you do or don't like it?
No, I'm teasing.
He's
dude.
jealous.
I was just saying I can't compete. I'm done. Like I was just joking, like that kind
of
thing.
Oh, I thought you were saying because like you didn't like Blood and Honey.
Oh no, I like part 2 more. I haven't even seen the first.
It's not out yet.
But, no, I know, but I like the trailer better than the first movie.
Oh,
I only make it through.
I only just saw the first movie for the first time like 4 days ago, and I messaged the group that you're in as well, so you probably saw it. I literally just messaged. I went, I'm mad.
It's a tough film. No. It's tough to watch. I mean, it's you know, I respect. It's weird. It's one of those ones where like Alex and I have this conversation because like we'll interview people and like talk to filmmakers and stuff who are behind these movies. It is a movie that I don't necessarily love, but like I like the filmmakers because they're nice guys, and
I'm sure.
I genuinely think that this one, if the next one comes out and it's a total dumpster fire, I'm gonna be shocked because like they made a promise when we first interviewed them. Like they were saying to everybody, they were saying it the whole time that they were going to take the money they earned from this one and just put it all back into the second one.
Here's what I'll say, and the reason that I haven't finalized the script yet is because I'm trying to write a section that's making sure that I'm acknowledging that part of things. I'm obviously willing to give them another chance. I do think the trailer for the second one looks better. My only concern, and the point where I don't have complete faith, is that the last like sizzle reel, here's my movie so that I can make the money to make the movie I actually want to make. The last movie I saw of that was Terrifier, where the first Terrifier is basically Damien Leone being like, here's my villain. There's nothing else in this movie. Enjoy. I hope it makes enough money so I can make the movie I actually want to make, which was Terrifier 2, and that movie's great. The thing about that, though, is that watching the first Terrifier movie is that you can see where the gold is. You watch that movie, and most of the first Terrifier, objectively, is not good. The characters are terrible. The acting is terrible. The sets don't look good. It's shot very cheap, and that's intense. Some of that's intentional, but some of it is also just, you know, part of the movie. But then there's Art the Clown, and he's amazing in it. His performance, the kills, the charisma, you can see where the gold in Terrifier is. That was then expanded on in the second movie. Watching Blood and Honey, I didn't see the gold. And I'm hoping that they can do it, but I didn't see it.
The golden honey? Is that what you're saying?
I was talking about the honey, yes.
I
need the honey shot. Give me the honey shot.
Yes.
The honey shot. Jesus Christ.
So that's why I'm concerned. I'm not saying I'm writing it off because I'm actually looking forward to Blood and Honey too, because the trailer does look awesome. But the reason that I'm still a little reserved on it is because I've seen a sizzle reel before where I could see there's the concept and that's the good thing.
Not to completely derail this into this debate or anything about Terrifier, but like everything that you mentioned as being like bad, like I was fine with. For me, Terrifier 1, the reason I don't like it, and you know, I've grown respect for it. I own it because I love 2 so much, but it's one of those ones where it's like, I would own All Hallows Eve and stuff like that
Sure.
because I respect it. But I there's no story, and
No. Well, that's what I'm
it's so
saying. Like,
frustrating.
it's an empty movie aside from art.
And the
Art
first
the Clown is the beating heart of that movie.
the first Blood and Honey is like the real glimmer of hope that I had when I saw it, because I interviewed them before I saw the movie, was at the very end of that movie when they actually killed the main character, the girl, and everything. I was just like, okay, so they're definitely, they got a little bit of that darkness that they were talking about in there. And then like just to kind of, that trailer was really going to be one of those things where I was like, this is really where they're going to show us a little bit of the goods here. I hope they deliver. And yeah, I think like the prosthetic effects look good. I think like it looks like a major upgrade. Now, we're still talking about a Winnie the Pooh horror film here, so I'm not thinking it's going to be Terrifier levels.
Yeah.
But like it's one of those things where it's like I can appreciate that they at least put their money where their mouth is.
You know what?
So,
I actually hated that they killed the main girl at the end of that movie.
well, I'm excited to see your review.
Because
and I'm gonna shit on you in the comments.
I want you to shit all over me.
I'll shit all over
I
you,
hated
buddy.
it because they introduce
You
her
woke
as a
bastard.
character with this like trying to set up a trauma arc, which they did absolutely nothing
Terrible.
with, and then just killed her at the end.
Can we
like,
talk
that is the
about-
most...
Whoa! You're not supposed to spoil it. I haven't even seen it.
Who gives a shit, man? There's nothing to spoil. It's not a movie.
Can we talk
I
about
don't
what
know.
traumatized
I agree
her,
with
though?
Mr. Boone, though. By the way,
Yeah, the trauma thing is ridiculous.
How there just some hermit just walked in her house.
Yeah. So, Alex, have you not seen it?
No, I haven't
Okay.
finished it. I've seen some.
So-
seen like 2/3 of it almost.
So yeah, you know how then. So at the start, they introduce the girl, and it's like, oh, she had a guy sneak into her house and try to undress her.
Oh,
So now
immediately
she's
I
going-
was hit with the acting, and that was where I was
Yeah,
like,
so it's like, oh, let's get our minds off of it by getting an Airbnb in a forest that is notorious for having a ton of murder
Yeah,
and
I know.
disappearances. That's a good idea, first of all. But then
Absolutely,
also,
Kevin.
they didn't do a goddamn thing with that trauma angle. She runs and screams the whole movie and then dies. It's like, it's pointless. It's utterly pointless.
and
Yeah.
no,
Wait
I
for the
say
video.
no remake. No Killer
Video
Clowns
coming
remake.
next Friday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carnosaur. Absolutely love the Carnosaur movies.
Yeah,
If
we
you want to
watched
go
that
back and see
together.
an old video, that was our first collab, wasn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it was.
Carnosaur 2, and we still got one in the pipe.
Yes,
I
Cynthia,
still-
please. It looked like just random dudes wearing masks. It did not seem like crossbreed
Right.
animals. It just seemed like hillbillies in masks.
Nay, no Killer
And
Clowns
it's
remake.
and it said that they're like they're like renouncing all of their humanity and going feral, but they're dressing in human clothes and using sledgehammers and cars to kill people. Where the fuck? There's a disconnect between what they tried to set up and the movie they actually fucking made.
But I think they know.
Of
and
course
they're-
they know.
Yeah, like they
It was
know.
a cash grab.
Well, and at least it wasn't a shitty cash grab because at least they're putting, like you said, their money where their mouth is or whatever. They're
Yeah.
going to give you the honey shot, guys.
And I do respect that. And
You're not going to let that go, are you?
If the second movie is good, if the second one is good, I will gain more respect for this first one.
Absolutely. And
But
that's all.
I don't have the second movie to base it off of right now, and that first one pissed me the fuck off, and I think it sets a really bad precedent where people are going to go, oh, when something goes public domain, we can just make a lazy bullshit movie
Right.
that's a husk just to deliver a poster that people are going to go buy. And I don't like that because then there's movies from a bunch of indie creators who are actually creative who aren't
Right.
getting their movies made.
Right.
I do want to say with this comment too. This isn't like widely known. This was something they revealed in the interview I did with them, and I think they're posting interviews now. So I imagine if somebody else asked it, they didn't want to release the budget last year, and if you look it up on Google, they're saying that it's $100,000.
It's less, isn't it?
It was $20,000.
Yeah, I was going to say it definitely wasn't as much.
They
Okay, so
funded-
I have to adjust some things in my script because I spent the video saying they made back 52 times their budget. So it was quite a bit more than that.
and it was because they literally put up all the money themselves.
And I
Like-
totally respect that.
Mhm.
Like, I have a ton of respect for the filmmaking of it. I think that's incredibly difficult. But
I agree,
you know,
Cynthia. That was a great part.
there's one thing to see an indie horror movie and like you can accept things like production value not being good because you know that they're working with limited constraints. But it's the creativity and like the actual care.
Yeah, but to be fair, and I will say this, everybody should have known going into this movie not to expect anything.
No,
So,
I just wanted them to lean into it being a Winnie the Pooh movie.
No,
if you're going to set up like feral creatures, and then
I just mean on the aspect of like under delivering or whatever. Like,
I agree with you, Evan. That the sledgehammer, the pool kill was like the worst. It's ridiculous thing ever. Like,
also, that is the slowest chase scene I have ever witnessed. One more thing, and then we can move on.
Yes.
One more fucking thing. I
Tune
think
in
that
for
movie,
his video, by the way, soon.
I think it won't be out till next Friday. You'll have forgotten all this by then.
I won't.
I'm think that that movie might have the stupidest character decision I've ever seen. It's the scene when the chick is sitting in the hot tub and she's taking selfies. And she sees Winnie the Pooh standing behind her in one of the pictures and then says, I'm not going to let that ruin my night, and turns around and closes her eyes and lays back in the hot tub. Fuck you. No.
Yeah.
It was her friend dressed up. She knew.
That is the dumbest moment I've ever seen in a movie.
I can show you worse.
You know, it ain't great. Oh, geez.
I'm not going to let that ruin my night.
I didn't think this would get you so worked up, Evan. I'm sorry.
It did. It pissed me off. I spent money to rent it.
You would have thought that Luke was talking about Halloween Ends in here. Like that's just really where we were. Someone compared it to Christine. These are inside jokes. If you guys are just sticking around, these are funny.
Luke doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and he's not here to defend himself.
No, he's not. Nope. He decided he's got to be a dad tonight. That stupid bitch. Anyway. I can say that.
I do want to end by saying, though, that I know that the people who made Blood and Honey are great dudes. Like, I like them. They seem very likable. I have nothing
it's very
against...
clear that you like them.
Yeah, well, this is why I'm making sure to say this, because I'm ripping apart their movie, and I'm going to do it again.
You're really pulling a Stuckman here, buddy.
But
but
hey, at least
having respect for somebody.
But I am tearing the movie apart. Yeah, I did not like the movie, but I like them, and I hope the second one is better. I have nothing against them, and I respect the amount of effort that goes into making a movie at any budget. It's extremely difficult, and it's impressive that it happened.
That'll be your follow-up video. You'll do a review of their personalities.
Yeah, exactly. We were just talking about that, actually. Just doing personality reviews.
And our chat back and forth, guys. We have a messenger chat that we talk back and forth.
It's unhinged.
It is wild. We sent that shit you sent this morning, Alex, was
that was nice.
You can show it.
We got a public no. We're gonna get a public domain universe with Pooh versus Steamboat Willie. Absolutely. And that's the other thing. We're also good buddies with the director of Steamboat Willie. I don't know what happened, but we got in with both the public domain like horror people. Like
I just got in with the Addams Family recently. That's my one connection.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then Alex has Damien Rubna. Now
that's
I'm talking about all these people. You guys are talking to the like.
Yeah, we're going to dinner tomorrow night. You guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's now time we start talking a little bit about this news. I don't think we'll get through every story we have marked here.
I was talking to Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys yesterday.
I know. That's my wife. I'd never told her that you know him and that he's lives in your area.
I used to trick or treat at his house.
She absolutely lost her damn mind. She loves Trailer Park Boys, and I just never made the connection to tell her. And
I've met all of them. And do you want to know who's the quietest one? Ricky.
Really?
By far the quietest.
Yeah, that's kind of expected. But people who like can act and like put their whole selves out on like film or like in theater. Like they're usually pretty reserved. So,
by the way, sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying? Your wife?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I think we're going to talk about news.
That's what you're talking about.
Actually, no. We're going to jump to the smallest piece of news, and I think that we need to recover Evan with some positivity. Evan,
I'm okay. Nothing but love.
Take us into Terrifier 3 world. What's going on with Terrifier 3, my boy?
Yeah, so we just got the first proper look at Art the Clown in Terrifier 3. We basically got a shot of someone taking a picture of the monitor on camera.
It was Damien Leone.
It was Damien Leone. Yeah, it was taking a picture of the monitor. And we saw an image of Art the Clown. It looks like he may have been in the... Yeah, here it is. It looks... And I'm not the one who pointed this out. This was Killjoy Jake. I was watching his video on it. He points out that the background there...
I like his stuff. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, the background kind of looks like it's the basement that Terrifier 2 ended in, which is interesting. He could be returning there. Now, what's really cool is that you can already see that this has a bigger budget for a couple of reasons. First of all, the lighting there looks fucking fantastic. That is a very well composed shot. The other thing that you'll probably notice is the improvement to Art the Clown's prosthetic application and his costume design. You can just see that they have stepped things up with the design there. Yeah, his eyes are different too, which is interesting.
At first, I gotta admit, I was not a fan of that.
Not of this, no.
I didn't even like the set photo we saw really with his look, but
I think he looks very demonic.
That's where I'm going with this, because you got to remember how Terrifier 2 ends with him being completely eviscerated. It's like, okay, this makes sense that the next version of him to come back is even more fucking scary, he's even more demented and everything.
It's kind of a scary idea to think every time Art dies, he becomes more demonic. So it's like, we saw what happened in the first, we saw what happened in the second, and then moving on, I was like, what the fuck is going to happen here?
There you go,
Evan. Is he born on Christmas?
Canadian. Proudest thing knowing I share the same country as the Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, man.
Is he going to be born on Christmas? Is that what that is?
I don't know. Maybe.
Is he Jesus?
Damn it!
That's what I'm saying. Hey, I was right about the fucking stop motion, so I could be right about
Canadian
that.
Canadian people, they're so polite and reserved. Not when we're talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, we're not.
But yeah, I
hold down control and zoom in and scroll up.
You got this, man. There
you go.
See, I that looks great. He looks obviously Leone has said that this is going to be a darker take. Canadians are the worst. You're a dick, Scott.
Just ripping you a new asshole.
That's fine. Whatever.
He donated, so we got to be nice to him.
He donated. Yeah. It's all
you
right.
You gotta give him.
I don't know whose channel he donated.
You owe him a honey shot,
but
we'll find out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. So I know that this is going to be a darker movie than 2, which Leone has said he's doing. I mean, he's not disregarding the supernatural elements of the second movie, but it does seem like he's leaning into kind of more so the tone, not just from the first Terrifier movie, but especially from the original Terrifier short film. By fucking double, you better fuck right off with that. I got a dark roast 2 cream from Timmy's, and you better know it.
Some Timmy's.
So why is it reminding you of the original art? Because that's what he's trying to do with Terrifier 3. Is he's trying to go back to the original Terrifier short film in terms of tone, which is in All Hallows Eve, which I think I might like All Hallows Eve more than the first Terrifier movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
Especially, I think that the Terrifier short film is fantastic. When there's so little story, I think that works better as a short film. So seeing just a 20-minute segment of that felt a little less... It is creepier. That first short has a very gritty, dirty tone to it.
That's what people liked about it. That's what they wanted.
And it's great.
The movie came out and it's blistering,
yeah, it was it was very
contrasts
different.
And
colors. So they're going back to that sort of dark grittiness from the original short film, which I'm excited about because it was something I talked about when I was doing my All Hallows Eve videos, that I really love the look of those early Art the Clown appearances. And if we can get that with David Howard Thornton's performance, which is one of the best physical performances we've had in horror for a very long time.
Bar none, absolutely.
The potential of Terrifier 3 is through the roof. The expectations are also incredibly high. So I do think it's one of those movies that's at the highest risk of, people.
I think this is going to be the groove film. This is going to be the one where
this is the one where he's
right
figured it out.
it.
Yep,
right,
I agree.
Right
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because like the first movie was very much like a test. It was him going like, here's a sizzle reel. The second one was like, all right, now we're in it. And then I feel like the third movie is going to be like, and here we fucking go.
I think the story in the second one was just so like, I don't know.
A lot.
I think it was like that was the testing bed for story.
Exactly. They were
and
setting
then
up
this
story.
Third one's going to be like, okay, now we got all the things we need. And
I feel like the third one is going to be like just a full, like straight up, we've got all the elements of movie making in this one that are coming to fruition finally.
It's got the biggest budget of any of them too.
Yeah,
so
and they're shooting anamorphic,
with.
which makes me so excited. I mean, it's going to change the look of it a fair bit, because I do think that the spherical lenses are part of what gives those original movies their distinct look. But if we're going anamorphic, obviously we're stepping things up a little bit, but
sure.
it's exciting.
Yeah. Use Felicia Rose for more than a cameo.
Yes,
I would
please.
agree that. I mean, I think like they've already established that character, so it's kind of like it would be weird if they did anything else on.
Yeah. Can't
there.
wait to see your take. Oh, you bet we'll be talking about it. We'll be talking about it a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna do on our channel. We're gonna essentially be doing like what Evan's doing now, except we're just gonna do it like a few months down the road before that one comes out. So it's gonna be like a major piece to our because it comes out October 25th, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so it's we're planning it to be a giant part of Splatterthon Volume 3. And we're hoping, if a couple of things that I have been trying to work in the background, if they can't pan out,
me too.
It'll be pretty good, and I'll get you guys involved if you want to. I know Evan is already down. Alex, we'll have to talk about it afterwards.
I don't want any part of this shit.
Okay. It's but yeah, I'd love to. If I could even get one of those to pan out, it would be pretty damn great. And I mean, we'll do some collaborations. Honestly, I think because we'll still be doing this, maybe we should do like a commentary watch along. Would you guys want to? Awesome. Would you guys want to do that on here?
Yeah,
where we just
for sure.
sit down and watch it, and we can all just kind of talk about, like, we could do like the first Terrifier like in September, and then in October we do the second, and then we could do a live. One of our shows could be a live spoiler.
One a month.
Yeah. Yeah. I did All Hallows Eve 1 and 2, and I'm waiting to do Terrifier 1 and 2 until probably at least we got like a Terrifier. Jesus Christ, man. You're on fire tonight. At least until maybe we've got like a trailer.
It'll be very gory and controversial. I agree.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can tell you it's going to be controversial because I've gotten so much shit on my video that I made about it.
Same here.
Yeah, I mean, it's people are
both got shot.
What's crazy is that we don't even know what's going to happen yet.
Yeah, that's the fandom is so weird, because I was talking about this with Dylan before we started, before you even popped in. We were talking about slashers and how in the 2000s, like, slasher fans were so hungry for a slasher that they literally would like anything. And it was like, oh, Knucklebones is the best slasher ever in the history of slashers, or, you know, and it's just like, now we kind of got something that is, and I think people are just excited. So some people are overdoing it a little bit, and some are like, hold your horses, you know, kind of like, and how they do with Peel. They're like, he's not a master yet. Calm down, you know, like.
I don't know, man. I like Nope more than most. I think that movie is great. And honestly, I think like the only one of his films that I haven't really connected with that deeply was Us. And I know I get a lot of shit for that, because like a lot of people love that movie. I just thought it was good. It was definitely good, but it was like Get Out is still my favorite of his, which I know is like, it's very common for that when it comes to directors. It's like, you know, their first one, it's so good. It's the one that broke them out. It's so hard to beat that. But like, I don't know. Like,
I like Us the best.
Really?
Oh, Us was my least favorite by far.
Mm-hmm.
I did not enjoy that movie.
Which one?
Us. Didn't like it.
I love all the metaphors and stuff in it.
I appreciated that, but for me,
like
to
go deep.
Not to spoil. I'm not going to spoil anything about how the movie ends, but the fact that there's just like a huge cheesy villain monologue to close it off, where they basically just explain everything that's going on and don't let us figure it out by using filmmaking storytelling,
Mm.
I found really frustrating because like the whole time you don't really know what's going on, and then it's just like, oh, by the way, here's everything that was happening. Roll credits. I was like, that's really deflating. And I also think that he balanced the humor and horror the least effectively in that one.
I
Oh,
would agree.
Um,
I would agree.
but I think he was
like-
going for a different vibe with that one.
For sure,
the-
it just didn't work for me.
The
Right.
NWA.
I don't think it's a
song coming
bad
on,
movie. I just didn't like. I don't like all of his movies are great. Like
It'll grow on you. It's one of those movies. Trust me.
Maybe I need to watch it again.
I
Like,
do.
it-
I own it. I have it on 4K.
Me too. Me too.
I just haven't watched it since I saw
He's
it in
got a lot of.
theaters.
He wears his influences on his sleeve, and I think when you know that,
Yeah.
it kind of it helps paint a bigger picture of some of what he's doing a little bit more.
I mean,
He is a great filmmaker.
Nope is
without a
essentially a Spielberg movie at the end of the day. Like
Nope,
it's so Spielberg inspired.
100%.
It feels so much like a Close Encounters, or like
Mhm.
like Luke was comparing it to Jaws,
Yeah.
with just the feel of it and everything.
Definitely.
And I'm like, I get that 100%. Like
I liked the first act of Nope the most when we were just seeing like those eerie shots of the sky, like and then I mean
I
the
agree.
nighttime.
I
I think
think
that has the
that's
best
strong.
looking nighttime scenes I've ever seen.
oh,
in a
it's
movie.
gorgeous. They
Just
shot a lot of that
beautiful.
on IMAX too.
I know, and they also shot a lot of it in daylight, and then just.
Mhm.
clipped us.
I like that movie, but I was a little peeved about the reveal.
I didn't. I honestly
I
didn't love Nope.
kite. It's a fucking kite.
Yeah, I didn't love Nope all that much, but it's one of those
enjoyed
things
it.
where like I really respect his movies, but I just like Us and Nope just didn't really work for me all that well. But I can respect that they're good movies, and I can acknowledge that. Maybe I need to revisit them because I've only seen all of his movies once.
You might,
Let me,
yeah, you definitely need to rewatch Us because I think there was so many perceived notions going into that movie that people were expecting, like
Yeah.
Get Out, so it already set it up wrong. Kind of like how when what's the superhero movie that was really dark that everybody didn't like at first, but then later on loved the one that's based off the comic book.
Watchmen.
What is it?
Watchmen.
Yes. When that came out, it was around a time where all these other movies had kind of set the standard.
Yeah,
And that one came out and people were like, what the fuck?
you know what
You
I
know,
think?
it just didn't have the same thing. But later on, people kind of like got back into it.
I think part of it was that like a lot of the discussion around Us was like, oh, Get Out was like a good movie, but it wasn't very scary, and now Us is his really scary movie. Like Us
Right.
is a very deeply frightening movie. So I went in and I'm like, all right, let's see what it is, and I didn't find it even remotely scary.
Right. Well, I don't. That's what I don't like about that because I feel like that was
Yeah.
the perceived notion going into
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? And I think
mean-
that it was a different thing altogether than that.
Yeah,
Like it has its scares in it, obviously, but it's
Sure.
more of a like you know what the acronym is, right? Like what the movie Us is about, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me. Like
What-
what is the
like-
name itself?
Oh,
The
I
acronym
thought you
for
meant
it.
like the allegories in the movie.
No. Acronym.
I see what you're saying. Okay, no, I don't.
United States.
Oh, okay, yeah.
U.S.
Because
I
they
mean-
did the whole like hands
across
the world.
America.
Now
I was that's my age. That's like that might
Sure.
be why it resonates with me a little bit more
Sure.
because I grew up when that shit was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hands Across America was like a really big thing that they overdid, and it was like I don't know why. It was just like this weird thing.
Right.
So
That-
there's
let me tell you, there's an element to Nope that will stick with me forever. It's this guy right here.
yeah, I know,
Forgot
right?
about that. until you
Gordy's
just pulled it up.
Home. What a fucking horrific opening. Like,
was gnarly,
holy
yeah.
shit. I absolutely adored this. I want him to do a killer chimpanzee movie now. Like,
I
oh
did.
my God.
And we all like Get Out.
Oh, Get
Yeah, I
Out's
like Get
his
Out. Get Out was
absolute,
good.
like, who was it who said this earlier? I think
That's
it
his
was
most
you.
accessible film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Somebody said, oh God, there's too many messages went by while I was dicking around looking for a Gordy's Home photo. Oh yeah,
Alex,
it was
look
actually
in-
saying that Get Out felt like a classic. Us felt really dumb. I wouldn't say it felt dumb. I
It
do
just
agree
wasn't
with
for
you though
me.
that Get Out feels like
Well,
a classic. Like when you
Bob
watch it, it's
Zombie
like this
said it.
feels like it's going to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
A lot of people liked. Wasn't a fan of Skeleton Key, by the way, but it was okay. I think Get Out's better.
Absolutely.
It's more enjoyable, but I mean, I don't think he was trying to steal from it. My personal opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's just the idea of the body snatching thing has been around since, Invaders from Mars and body snatchers, even after that.
I'm going to say I'm real excited to see now that Monkey's Paw is in full producer mode with Monkey Man. I know it's not necessarily horror, but it looks like John Wick, the Dave Patel's directorial debut.
Oh, yeah.
Dev Patel, sorry. It's looks fucking dope. Like, I love me a good action movie. But why don't we move into this? Will probably, honestly, for me, guys, be the last story. Just because like my kiddo just got home and he is asking for me. So
I don't know if you can see in my eyes.
You look very tired.
He looks very Canadian.
Yeah, Cynthia said
that weed is legal here. Is that what that was?
Dude, weed's legal where I'm at too. I just can't smoke it because of my day job.
I mean, like federally though. Like weed is federally legal in Canada.
Oh, yeah. In Arizona it is.
I also don't because it gives me panic attacks. But that's unrelated.
It's not federally legal in
Monkey
the United
Man
States,
does look
technically.
great.
No?
Not federally legal. It's
is
state by state.
State by state. Yeah.
I have some gummies around somewhere.
So if I bought some legal weed and then went next door to a state that's not legal, I would get in huge trouble.
That's wild.
Well, depending on if it's decriminalized or not. So
right.
Thoughts on
it's
Talk
just
to Me?
federally legal here.
Absolutely love Talk to Me.
Talk to Me was amazing.
Yeah.
Alex is like, it was mid.
Alex is too busy thinking about pot now. He's like,
that's what I was like. He's like, I was totally distracted.
Do I?
Yeah,
I have like little really mild gummies somewhere that I like, but
CBD
I don't know where
gummies.
they went.
Alex,
well, they're not CBD.
Why don't you take it away here? You are our resident physical media aficionado. You get to, review. Well, I mean, you have the most physical media reviews on your channel. You get to talk about all the fun stuff. Second Sight, MVD.
Well,
so why don't you fill us in a little bit on what's going on
Second
with our
Sight
boys
is
over at
goated.
Anchor Bay?
Well, you're gonna have to pull up the article just so that they can see. But you know what I mean.
It is up.
Oh wait, no, but I mean you'll see what I mean. There's a new logo. Anchor Bay, for those of you guys who don't know who Anchor Bay is, that used to be the Vinegar Syndromes, the every single boutique label that you can think of to buy movies from now that are horror, like the like smaller labels that are TerrorVision, Vinegar Syndrome, everything that you buy from Diabolic DVD, MVD Entertainment, Error 303 or whatever it is. All of those places were condensed into Anchor Bay at one point in time. And that was where we got our movies from. So whenever we went to the store and we saw Anchor Bay, we were like, oh shit, this is like the underground, like this was, because back when Anchor Bay was out, there wasn't really a push for a lot of underground films. There was a lot of push for like the mainstream shit. And if they did an underground film, you'd probably see once and then 8 years later, maybe see something again, maybe. But Anchor Bay was the one that like put all those out. Everybody would get excited about those ones, especially if you're into Italian films. But they went away because nothing lasts forever. But they are bringing back. Somebody, I guess, bought the name. There's a couple of fellas. What's that?
It was two of the folks who work under Umbrella.
Yeah. They Thomas Zambeck and Brian Katz are the two fellas that are doing it. They're going to start off with their own films. They're not going to be bringing back any of the titles because when they bought the name, they're not buying, the licenses. They never did. They just, all Anchor Bay did was like basically go to the companies and say, hey, can we license your movie and we'll put it out and then you get this kickback, and like they do with all these other small ones. But yeah, I guess they're coming back and they're going to start out small. They got a couple of movies that they're going to launch. A puppet horror film called Abruptio, which you saw the picture of the googly dude right there.
That looks...
which I'm down with all this old fucking, technology coming back to do horror movies. Like stop motion blew me away. So let's see puppet horror. I don't give a shit.
Have you seen, did we talk about the Wolf House last time?
Somebody recommended that to me over No, it was over our comments. Somebody said to check out Wolf House. You might have said that at one point.
It's
Unearthed
if you
Films.
like stop motion horror, like very creative
Osis looks terrible.
design, you might like the Wolf House. It's a weird.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
fucking
about.
Movie. Yeah,
someone suggested that to me. I think in my comments recently.
It's interesting. It's worth a watch.
They also have a documentary that they're going to be doing too, called Dinner with Leatherface, which
I do want to cover that. I like Gunnar Hansen enough that I would definitely want to hear about his story and everything. So
curious to see. Is it just about him? Because I think it's about all of them, isn't it?
I thought it was primarily about Gunnar Hansen because they were doing they showed a thing. But is this the new logo, Alex?
Yeah, it's got a pirate symbol on it instead.
The Pirate Bay.
I like it. The Anchor Bay.
Right, that's what I was thinking, right?
fuck?
Pirate Bay. I was like,
Can't
dude,
say
that
that.
reminds me of Pirate Bay. Like, what are they doing? I guess
Sorry, reminds you of what? I've never heard of that website.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Whatever.
What are you talking about?
Shut up! Don't say
I
it.
source all of my movie clips
Don't
for my
speak-
reviews
don't
from
say it.
discs.
Don't speak it. Don't say it. Or
But,
whatever.
you know,
that
I mean,
movie
Anchor Bay wasn't the only one. Yes, I know, guys. I'm just saying that Anchor Bay was one of the bigger ones back in the day. You know, like one of the more popular. We didn't really have that many boutique labels back then. So
Now
maybe at
there's
the
so
tail
many of
end, at the tail end when they disappeared, yeah. But like in the beginning, like Anchor Bay and like I think there was Grindhouse releasing. What else was there?
Speaking of boutique, fucking outlets, Evan and myself. I don't. You didn't order it, did you, Alex?
What?
know
Where
what
the
you
Devil roams.
No.
Yeah, we got our. We got our
terrible movie. No,
That
I'm
was
kidding.
such
That's
an
not what I was
emphatic.
saying. That's not what I was saying.
No, but it was really funny the way you said that. He's like, "Did you?" You went, "No."
yeah, no, I looked it up today because I was like, oh yeah, that movie. I forgot.
I really, really, really hope that this means Hellbender's getting a Blu-ray because I would buy that.
I like
Hellbender.
Hellbender.
I hope that Vinegar Syndrome gets to do it
Well,
too.
I was saying you can't stand that family's movies. Oh, I like them.
See, I told you.
I like
there's
them a
not
lot, and I'm
everybody's
also
really
a little
into it.
biased now because like I kind of have talked to them a fair bit. Like they're very friendly people. So
Oh, they're
Uh,
I have a
very
bit of a
cool.
bias, but
Very kind.
I love Hellbender. They did. Toby told me that she thinks that there is a Blu-ray coming, like eventually.
Mhm.
I'm not sure exactly when. They might be checking, like how this release of Where the Devil Roams does before they push it out. But I think John was telling me that they've done a couple bonus features for Hellbender that they want to pack on. And also, I do know that this release of Where the Devil Roams has tons of bonus features on it. I was chatting with John, but like
Mr.
Baby's first
Burns,
After
man.
Effects, man.
Doesn't look that bad.
I mean,
I've seen
like
worse.
they made that. They were literally like they got isolated it
in the pandemic.
in their house during COVID, and they were just like, let's fucking make a movie.
Exactly.
made
I
it
agree with
on-
Cynthia on that one.
They made it on a micro budget. The
Yeah,
movie
there's
didn't
something
feel
to
like
be
it was
said
about the
about it.
effects. No, I mean, and it's also such a unique movie. There's so much charm to it. It's really creative.
It's like a play.
Yeah, I thoroughly
this-
enjoyed it. Like, I'm saying this now, but I also was singing Hellbender's praises before I ever spoke to the Adams. It just helps that I've now talked to them and they're lovely.
What's a good Canadian distributor for horror films?
I tend to just bite the bullet on import fees. I know that a lot of people do order from Diabolic.
I would
But-
order from Umbrella more. I know they're Australian, but
From
it costs like $40
It's
in
so
shipping.
expensive. I bought the Terrifier Blu-ray from Umbrella because it came with All Hallows Eve on the disc.
It's a great set. It looks
It
amazing.
is a great. I didn't buy the full set, but just the first movie because it has All Hallows Eve included as a bonus feature.
Didn't they do the double pack?
They did. They did some really cool releases when
With-
Terrifier 2 was like really popping
Yeah.
off. But I mean, like honestly, even if something releases from like Second Sight, I tend to just order straight from them. But if you don't care about getting like the special editions of things, or if you're ordering like Scream Factory and you don't care about getting the posters, just go to Amazon is your best
Yeah, that's the
bet.
easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they go on sale there
Well,
quite a bit.
MVD
Yeah.
does a lot of them too, and they get
Yep.
them right away. So
Yeah, MVD.
Yeah, and the only and now for me, I like to go as much as I can to Sunrise Records, like a physical store. which they bought out HMV a couple of years ago, which was where I really got into physical media collecting, was HMV and Best Buy.
Since we're talking about fucking physical media, you guys keep going. I just remembered a little something here that was kind of exciting for those of us who frequent Walmarts.
So
what's that fucking company called?
For what? Sony Entertainment.
Well, yeah, you got talk about that real quick. This is something else. I got to figure out who this company is.
So Disney is no longer going to be doing their Blu-ray, scam, or I mean, company.
That's funny.
I didn't hear you. You didn't need to correct yourself. I think you were.
Yeah, I know. I was just being funny.
No, I know. I'm saying I think you were perfectly accurate.
You were perfectly accurate.
But I mean, I almost did it because I wanted to get the new Aliens and the Abyss movies for cheap. And I was like, well, I could also get Star Wars this way too. Because I don't really like to buy mainstream movies that much, like through, I don't know. I buy a lot of underground shit when I buy movies for the most part. So Disney is no longer going to be doing physical, and they're going to be teaming up with Sony and putting out their releases through Sony.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Obviously,
that's a huge step for Sony, by the way.
Obviously, and it's funny for us because the only distributors that we are hooked up with for physical media are Universal and Sony on our side.
Sony,
so,
yeah.
The one thing I will say, the one thing I will say for Universal, the one thing is that I appreciate that their releases do tend to have a fair bit of bonus features, at least the ones that I'll
give them that.
When I was doing my Exorcist Believer video, again, not a good movie, but the 4K of it is packed with some really great bonus features.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and I appreciate that they include those on their releases because a lot of major studios just include like, here's a trailer and then that's it. This was like proper behind the scenes. Here's how we did the makeup effects. Here's interviews with directors. Here's commentary tracks. Like that was a legit release, and I appreciate that Universal does that.
Yeah, Last Voyage of the Demeter had a good chunk of special features. I was pretty surprised to see that on their Blu-ray.
Or is that Warner Brothers that I'm thinking of that did Evil Dead? The Rise.
Warner Brothers is Evil Dead.
Warner Brothers.
I was not a fan of that one.
Of Evil Dead Rise?
Release?
No. The release. It's just bare bones. They were like, here's 4K.
I think that's the one that I had. Yeah, I just wanted to get the movie on 4K.
I mean, I did too, but it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say what every other horror fan on Twitter and Instagram has said ever since this got announced. Just give me Barbarian and Empty Man, and we'll call it a day.
I would buy Empty Man in a heartbeat.
I know, I love that movie.
Yeah.
That movie reminded me of that. There was another movie. It's not human, Jesus Christ, and that lady gets yanked up into the sky. What was that movie? It totally reminds me of that movie, by the way.
Hang on.
I used it in a song for my band. And it was like, it's not human, Jesus Christ. And she just gets yanked into the sky, and you're like, what the fuck?
SM says he needs a 4K of Empty Man now. I agree. I mean, even just a Blu-ray at this point, I would settle with.
I don't know, Alex. I'm trying to figure that out.
Have either of you... Empty Man reminded me of this. I kind of, for some reason, I connect these two movies in my head. Have either of you seen Sun, the movie with Andy Matichak in it? Where...
No,
I don't think so.
Please, both of you put that on your watch list.
Okay.
I think it's on Shudder. It's a Shudder original, actually, if I recall.
That means it sucks.
1 second. Yeah, it means it sucks.
No, they've been knocking it out of the park. They really have been. While we're waiting on him, I did just want to say, I was trying to think of Terror Vision.
I love that
movie. They struck a deal with Walmart, so they're going to start releasing collector's edition Blu-rays in Walmart, and they're kicking it off with Malum, which I was pretty excited about. So,
this one, watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it, or you just know about it?
No, I have not, but it was one of the ones that I missed.
It's great. It's really, really cool. I want to cover it at some point because it's fucking awesome. That's
Yeah,
all
I don't
I'm
know
gonna say. I
anything
don't want to
about
spoil
it,
it.
so I'll get it on there, especially if it's on Shutter. If it's a Shutter original,
I'm pretty sure.
then I'll be able to watch it like right away too. So
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a Shutter original. Yeah.
and they're talking about Terrorvision is in the boutique label.
yeah.
I was always so confused when I was hearing about Terrorvision because I was like, why is it like I thought that I was
They
thinking about
were
the movie.
Yeah, they're ex Vinegar Syndrome guys that kind of like went their own
Yeah.
way and kind of split and did their own thing. So it's good to have
Yeah.
another boutique label.
Their slips will
Hmm.
be different, and like what Bog Zombie was saying here, their slips will be different, but they will also not be releasing, which this kind of sucks. They're not releasing the 4K version of Malum. That's still going to be exclusive to their store. So if you want it on 4K, you'll have to get it through them directly, but they are going to start releasing their movies at Walmart. And this is kind of something, I'm not a big supporter of Walmart. I go because I have to,
Hmm.
but it's one of those things where it's like, I do appreciate that they're kind of going left while everybody else is going right in the physical media game, where they're like,
Hmm.
hey, we're phasing all this shit out. Oh, Evan looks like he's. Oh, okay, you froze. You look like you were about to pass out.
Oh.
But yeah, they're actually doing the right thing and like stocking up on physical media. They're making a big push because they're doing a lot more like
Right, I
steelbook,
do too.
Yeah.
like steelbooks and shit. Like they have Hollow Man coming out on steelbook. They have a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff. So.
So if you're in Canada, I don't know if this is in the States as well, but if you are in Canada, go to Sunrise Records if you can find one because they are. Do you guys have those in the States? Have you seen Sunrise
I have
Records
not
anywhere?
seen Sunrise.
So it's basically just a big physical media store. Um, and so that they have records, they have a lot of CDs, but they also have a huge selection of really great like movie releases. And what's great is that it's not just like big studio releases. Like they have a whole section that's like the most obscure shit. Granted, they're fairly expensive because they have to import them, and they're often
yeah,
I mean,
We
you
had
can spend
Suncoast Motion Picture Company out here.
yeah, you can spend 40 to 50 bucks on a movie easily at Sunrise. Yeah, I mean that's also Canadian.
Canadian,
Keep that in
though?
mind, Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
This guy's always talking about. I'm trying to help people, you bastard.
That's all he knows, man. It's all he knows.
Jesus Christ! You've mentioned Canada more times than I have.
Well, I think on that note, I gotta call it, folks. It's
Yeah,
been
I probably
about
do
2
too.
hours.
I don't know if you can
Supposed to be
tell. I'm
hour-long
bursting
shows,
with energy right now.
and we're
Yeah.
kind of just pushing it until Alex falls asleep. But yeah, I got my kiddo
You mean Evan?
upstairs. Evan, sorry, even I'm getting tired, so I'm starting to mix everything together.
I'm the guy that falls asleep, motherfucker.
You have a condition. We're just
Yeah.
tired.
Called awesome.
Awesome.
It's called awesome.
But yeah, this is another successful night. I had fun.
Yeah,
I
this
think
was
this is
fun.
good. I enjoyed the
Of
stories.
course.
I enjoyed talking with everybody. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you O for donating $2. I don't know
Yes.
again
Yeah, thank you.
which account got that, but whoever did, congrats.
I have
And
no idea.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry we couldn't play the trailer, but I promise next
Eventually
time,
we will.
by
Yeah.
the time we go live, I'm sure the trailer will be out
Yeah.
for realsies, and then we can watch it. We can talk about it some more because
Mhm.
I will talk about that movie till I'm blue in the face. I'm that excited for it.
That trailer looks amazing. Yeah. Very
And
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for coming by. Really,
Yes.
seriously,
Yeah.
we really
It's really
appreciate it.
fun.
This was
This is-
a huge turnout today. Honestly,
I look
Thank
forward
you so
to it
much.
every now. So
Yeah, I look forward to hanging out with these fellas. I look forward to talking to all you guys. Thank you.
Hopefully
Thank you,
Luke
thank
can be in
you.
next time too.
He will. What happened with that was he had planned to be on this. He forgot that we had an interview with Anthony Cousins, the
Right.
Frogman
Earlier.
guy today, and so that was at 6 o'clock, and then that went on for an hour, and then so he had basically split it up so that way he would he would like go to the interview and then he would take care of his daughter and stuff because his wife works nights.
Sure.
So
Mhm.
it turned
Where
into a
does
whole
he
thing
live?
where
I'm
he
kidding.
lives near me. So I was like,
I'm
sorry.
joking.
I didn't get you. But no, he so yeah,
Postal code?
he had basically forgot that we double booked ourselves in a sense. So he had to
Yeah.
make the call and I was like, don't worry about it.
That's
I'll
fair.
only say nice things about you. So
We'll get him in next time.
Oh yeah, he'll be.
We love.
He might just
SM.
he might just sit there in silence, but we'll have him.
No, that wouldn't be like him. O says, first of all, he expects the $2 to be divided evenly, so we have to do that.
Okay,
it's
right,
all or nothing.
But then we have to worry about conversion rates if it's $2 Canadian.
I also want to say, is this a regular thing, SM? Every second Monday.
Yes.
So 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be doing it again.
Following.
Yes. Because we're all very busy.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing this every other Monday, and we're gonna have a little bit more to announce coming up shortly. So I can't say when exactly, but just pay attention to social medias, pay attention to community posts, and
follow each and every one of us.
Yes.
Give us all, if you're not subscribed
Beyond
to
the Void
all
War
of us.
podcast.
Actually, if anyone wants grabs on this, let me check this. I was at 6665 last time I checked.
6665.
Oh, I'm at 6667 now. I was saying whoever wants to be the 6666. I was gonna say
I'm gonna go upstairs and cry.
I was gonna say whoever wanted to be 6666 can subscribe.
I don't fucking care, Evan. Nobody cares anymore. I don't even want to be around anymore.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna go load the shotgun.
I might. Yeah, that's wild.
We gotta go break his hands so he can't make no more videos.
Bro, I need guitar and writing and piano. My hands break. I'm done. That's it.
You gotta do it like
put it in his mouth and then like
they had him doing. You got to do it with the pencil in your mouth. Do the typewriter. There you go.
What the fuck, guys? I just finished reading Misery. You're making me think like.
No, honestly, last thing I'll say on it is just seriously though, congrats, dude. Like that's fucking incredible. The last couple weeks have been a sight and honestly super encouraging because like it's
yeah, but for real.
It's definitely great to see everything like popping up so quickly because again it's like I think that's the beauty, like we talk about it off air all the time, is just like having the three of us do this like and kind of intertwining our channels like we're doing here is like it just makes it all that more motivating, especially because like with that group chat, all of us just talking about our content that's coming up and stuff. Like it's encouraging. I like hearing everybody's inner thoughts because I think we all kind of realize that we all kind of deal with the same shit at times, so it's like it's nice to feel like you're not alone.
Well, sending like, the shit comments is a big one. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
We get to share and
we
get to share and hate. If any of you ever leave hate comments on our channels, you're probably in our group chat.
Plug the Discord. We don't have a Discord yet. We'll have to figure one out. For this could be fun.
But yeah, I appreciate all you guys, including the chat, obviously. And
of course.
Thank you, Mr. Moon.
We'll be thanking Evan when they start pouring into our channel afterwards. It'll just like run off into.
Yeah, I expect a community post every single day telling them to subscribe to us. Otherwise, you're out. We're replacing you.
Until we beat you, then it's our turn, and then
we're just gonna put a blow
until we beat you
of you. On the other one, All right, well, that's enough,
guys.
All right, guys.
I'm gonna end the stream. So thank you guys. Have a good night.
See you guys.
See ya.